petty all the time. I'm petty all the time.
Baby, welcome to the party.
Give me a P. Give me a E. Give me a T. T-Y. I'm petty all the time. Give me a P. Give me a E. Give me a T. T-Y. I'm petty all the time.
Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of Petty Party Podcast. It's your girl Michelle, aka Egypt if you nasty.
Hey everyone, it's just Nick checking in.
Hey guys, it's your girl Paulette coming out the set. What's good?
Hey y'all, it's your girl Crystal, aka Champagne Chris, aka Chris F. Baby, please say the baby.
Y'all all look so good. Like I'm just looking at y'all, makeup, hair. Y'all look okay.
You as well, loving the braids.
Thank you. Period. Popped out, so niggas.
Can't wait to go to braid season, bro.
I feel like this is my first braids for the year. I'm feeling, it makes you feel a little different.
Yeah, a little
Getting ready is
exotic.
quicker.
Cheekbones is cheeking.
Like I was like, oh,
It snatches your face.
I was like, it does. I was like, not my cheekbones really coming through. My highlight coming through. My makeup looked a little different. I was like, okay.
It be like when you first get your hair done, when you get your eyebrows done, it changes your face.
Girl, I got my eyebrows done this morning.
Yeah, that's also what it could be.
Damn, I haven't got my eyebrows done in a year. That's crazy.
Really?
It's been 6 months for me, so that's the reason
Do you
why.
do them yourself?
No.
Y'all go long periods of time.
I just feel like I don't have
month.
enough eyebrows to just be
Yeah, so
maintaining them like
the thing
that.
is, Michelle's actually the one who kind of put me onto that. She was like, well, Nikki, she's like, if you want your eyebrows to grow, you just have to stop touching them. I'm like, oh my gosh, but I'm not going to have any shape. But surprisingly, I was still able to make my eyebrows work for the last 6 months with no issues. But I do definitely see a difference. Like,
Do you pluck or anything?
No, I didn't pluck. Nothing. I did literally just let them grow out because I'm on the bridge of making that jump to microblading or ombreing my brows.
Which is crazy because Nikki has the thickest brows.
Wow.
But I'm on that verge because I'm like, ugh, my brows are just not where they used to be. So Michelle was just like, just stop touching them. So I waited 6 months, and I do think it made a difference, but I'm still not at where I want to be.
Yeah,
just yet.
I think I do mine every other month, or sometimes sometimes I go 2 or 3 months without it, just because I don't know, it's not a big deal.
I go every 5 weeks.
I'm not going nowhere. Right?
Yeah, every 5 weeks on the chair.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't. Because with makeup and stuff, people don't understand your brows.
You have to have your brows snatched. If you do
really
makeup frequently, yes,
you have to have your brows done.
I agree.
I don't. So.
And me, I don't know how to pluck. I don't know how to razor blade. So I'll just go.
I'll be in the house looking any kind of way. You feel me? But I'm not gonna lie. I feel like threading is one of them things. It hurts every time. It's just you don't get used to it.
It never gets better.
It
at
hurts
all.
every single time.
Yeah.
I waxed and thread today.
Yeah.
Which I'm starting to realize I miss waxing.
Really?
I want to wax my whole body.
Do you? Oh yeah, I love wax.
You wanna go, no, the thing is, I feel y'all going back to waxing because threading sometimes is unnecessary pain.
It is unnecessary pain.
Right.
Waxing was just so simple. I'm like,
Quick.
oh, that was it? Even after I started getting my armpits waxed, I was like, this is what I was so scared of. It was nothing.
Would you consider doing Brazilian?
Okay, so no, I'm not going back that far.
Brazilian is so. I wish you would have kept pushing forward because after your first
I was
second
bleeding.
time, that's it.
On a Brazilian wax?
But she went to European Wax Center.
Really? Oh,
Hate to say it, European Wax Center, y'all.
Can't.
I was
Jori
bleeding. I was bleeding. I was in pain. Y'all should have really seen me. I thought I was giving birth. I was on the table sweating.
Do you have a low pain tolerance?
No, I don't. The woman had to bring a fan in. She put it on my face because I was sweating bullets.
I literally was there and I was just
What she do?
yeah, it was just what's going on? I think it was my second time going. I'm like, why is she screaming like that? She was screaming for dear life, and I'm like, it's not. It may have been your waxer. I'll be real with you because it's not supposed to be like that.
The next time I go is gonna be before my honeymoon.
I'm screaming.
Oh yeah.
So never mind. I'm not getting your
So I
business.
found this Persian lady, and I was going to her shop for a minute, and then after that, one of the workers left, and so I just been going to her, and
I just feel like we don't need
$28.
I feel like we don't need to normalize pain, and I don't think that Brazilians are comfortable in any way, shape,
I'm not
or
gonna
form.
Lie.
And people try to make them seem like they're normal.
But I turned into a laser girly, so that's why. But
I don't trust laser. I'm scared of that.
Girl, I had wax. I've had laser for a while, and I've been cool. But with the waxing, it was same thing with threading. Like it's just one of those things like you just don't get used to it. Like the pain, I don't know. Like I just
just like I always tell people you have to be consistent.
It hurts every time.
Because now when I go,
don't want to do that.
I be on the phone, I be doing stuff, and she's be down there.
Nikki, why are we normalizing pain? But anyways, okay, we're gonna move on to the MOTO, y'all. This was a little bit juicy, so make sure y'all are locked in with this one. So she goes, "Hi, Petty Podcast. Hey, girl." She said, "I've been with this guy for a very long time, but I constantly have to beg for everything. Calls, texts, going out together, and more. We both live in Maryland, and despite seeing all the red flags, I hope he would change. He's 46 years old with a daughter, never been married, and 12 years older than me. The first thing I notice is how he hides his phone like crazy. If I even touch it a bit, he freaks out. He flirts with women openly, and whenever I talk about the future, he has nothing to say. When I told him I was pregnant, he immediately demanded I get an abortion without considering my feelings. He got angry and said we both had to want it, so I ended up going through with it because I couldn't bring a child into the world to be denied. Since then, I haven't let him touch me because it severely affected my mental health. Recently, he told me he was going to Dallas for a week and left July 1st. Which I suspected was to meet another woman, but I didn't say anything. Guess what? He didn't call me at all while he was there. I called him to ask how the flight went, and he said he just landed and would call me back, but he never did. When he came back, he had like nothing ever happened and all lovey-dovey. I confronted him, but his excuses were lame. He tried to be nice and cheesy to make me forget it, but it didn't sit well with me. While he was on his phone, I watched him closely, then snatched it and ran to another room, locked the door behind me.
I feel her. Sometimes you need that proof.
His movement wasn't enough.
You need confirmation.
Yeah. Sometimes you need the confirmation.
What I feel like you're about to say would kill me.
Okay, go ahead. Girl.
No, because once you about to vibe, girl, you gonna kill yourself.
Like,
oh my gosh. Okay.
God forbid.
She said, no, God forbid. Like, mentally. Okay, I confronted him, but his excuses were lame. Okay, so, sorry, back to so while he was on his phone, I watched him closely, then snatched it and ran into another room, locked the door behind me. He banged on the door, but I didn't care. I opened his WhatsApp and got the shock of my life. There was a message from a girl calling him babe. They had been together throughout the trip. They had clearly been seeing each other for a while. The most shocking part is that she's on the...
What?
She's on the what? The most shocking part about it is that she's on the big side, but he constantly talks badly about big girls. And I always tell him it's not cool. I always suspected he liked them despite his denials, and this just proved it. This past week...
Of course. That's
this
his type.
This MOTO is... Wait. Okay. This past week has been crazy and has messed with my head so much. I even got drunk trying to forget everything I read, especially the sex part. Now he's gaslighting me, saying I shouldn't have read his messages and that he can do whatever he wants because he's not married. He even said he could get a
African.
He even said he can get a girl pregnant or bring home a wife, and it's none of my business. I blocked him, but it's hard to forget. Now he's apologizing and saying we should move past it. It's messed up that I wasted years with this guy, even when I knew I should have left. I met better guys and ruined these chances because of him. I feel like DMing the girl to let her know, especially because she's around my age, but is it worth it?
Care. She knows about you.
It.
So
I just...
Does she want advice or she just wants to vent?
I'm pretty sure she wants advice.
She wants advice, so she DM the girl.
Yeah,
she actually should DM the girl.
I'm pretty sure she probably wants our opinion on the whole thing, but then she also said, I feel like DMing the girl to let her know, especially because she's around my age, but is it worth it?
I'll be honest with you.
No.
Like, I don't like, and like, this is coming from experience. Like, she knows about you. I'm not gonna lie. Like, and I'm just gonna be real with you. So don't even DM her, because like, me personally, I don't really, you can come to her as a woman, but what's it gonna do? Like,
it's not gonna do anything.
Don't do that.
How
don't
many times
do
have
that.
I said on the podcast?
Yeah, just don't do it.
Do not go to them as other women. Because it's like,
don't do it.
If she stays with him, then what? Then you're gonna be even more sad. Like,
and then what if she says, I know?
And she
that's
don't
gonna
give
hurt
a fuck.
you even more.
Exactly.
So like,
does he have money? I'm trying to figure out like what.
No, she
honestly,
she has to beg him for everything.
I think that
But no calls, texts, but maybe not.
I'm
money.
sure it gives too.
Yeah, because it's like I'm trying to figure out, because you didn't really, and maybe it was to drive the point home of you trying to ask for advice in the situation, but you didn't really illustrate like him in a way that could even make me fight for him. He sounds like a bad person. Not even like a bad boyfriend.
He sounds like a terrible person.
He sounds like a bad person in general. Like he sounds like a gaslighter and manipulator. He's 12 years older than you, doing little boy shit. Like he has a kid.
Yeah.
Like, not that's a bad thing, but I'm just saying like.
No, like.
You can do better. I don't even know you, and I know you can do better.
Like 46 years old with a kid and no plan to marry. That's damaged goods. You got to go.
I'm not gonna lie. Some of the stuff she was saying too, I was just like, damn, that shit's happened to me before. Not the whole grabbing phone.
Yeah, but like
just the whole a guy literally like making you feel like shit. Yeah, gaslighting you, manipulating you, making you feel like shit throughout the relationship. You have to beg for simple things like call, like texting and actually intimate time. And she said and more. So my thing is, and I've been.
Can you imagine what the and more is? You know,
so I think that
it's not,
what I'm kind of getting is that you have an emotional trauma bond with him, and it probably does have a lot to do with the abortion. And so I'll be honest with you, I understand that's such a mind fuck. And that's something that can really mess with your mental health. Yeah. And the fact that it doesn't seem like he was really there and supportive for you in that moment. And so now you have like this trauma bond with him. And I think that's what's drawing you to him. But to be honest with you, girl, everything you described in your message, it sounds like he hates you. And I only say that because I've actually had to ask a guy that. Like I've had a guy that I'm like, he treats me like shit, and I have to ask him, like, do you hate me? Because
do you? Nothing else makes sense.
Your actions are not making sense at this point. So I think that at the end of the day, you already knew you already had those suspicions. Now you have the confirmation. You saw his phone, and I think that also it's probably hurting your ego is that she looks nothing like you because they never do.
Yeah, they don't. They
never do.
They don't, and they won't. They shouldn't.
Never do
because. Oh my god.
So y'all feel like it makes the situation worse because
it does.
What is your type, bro? Like what is?
They have a type. They just don't want to be with their type.
No, I think your type. Being with a nigga whose type is just wide range, you can go out and pick anybody.
Yeah.
Like pause. Wait. Never mind. When you said being with a girl that's wide range, what do you mean by that?
Like a wide range.
You have a wide range. Sorry, because I thought. I was
no. Your type is like not one specific thing. You like multiple array of
your type.
Which I've always been saying. Basically, men without types. That's a red flag.
Because they don't know what they want.
I mean,
there has to be something you like. There has to be something you are interested in.
I think they like everything.
Character.
I think I like everything.
What is character? Men are physical.
Because I don't feel like I have a type, but I don't think it means that I'm
women
a whore.
are different.
We're different. Men are physical.
Men are very physical beings.
Yeah. So, okay. So look back at all. Not to derail from the MOTO. We'll get back to you.
Yeah.
But think about all y'all's exes. Do you think that if you take the guy you last dated and took all the girls he dated with you in the lineup, that y'all will all be twins?
They're not.
But that's what I'm saying.
Bring your best bitch. Bring your best bitch.
I think it would be weirder if I dated a guy and he turned around and dated a girl that looked just like me.
I wouldn't be shocked though. But you know, that would be
all the girls you dated
that's
looked like me.
Like.
It was very fucking weird. I'm not gonna lie.
It is weird, but it's like that's your type. But like,
is it, or are you trying to replace me?
No,
different bitches.
It's
keep trying.
Because some guys will get with an outlier and start showing them the blues. Like that's just crazy. Like no, you're used to a certain type of woman, and you get an outlier that's not really with your type, and you start doing weird stuff with them.
Like for me, like with some of the men, like the men I've dated, I do think that they do have type specific. Like it's very like okay, they're usually the women they like are dark skinned. The women they like are usually like curvy, thicker. I've never like the men that I have dated. They've never just gone for someone who's like super skinny and light skinned. Like it's nothing like me, you know? So like I don't think it's weird that they go for that person that they don't look like me, but they have similarities. I
guess I wouldn't say it's so. I guess to me it's just
that's similarities.
Yeah, it's not weird for me if a guy doesn't have a type. To me, I think to me it just shows that he's probably dating more intention than a guy who's just like, I want every bitch that's 5'8" and Carmel. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like,
no, you're a whore.
Or it's just like you just will get
you
with anything.
Taste the rainbow.
Like, that's honestly, it's cool. Like, I feel shout out to people that have no type and can experience.
So also, every guy you've dated looks exactly the same.
No, but I told you, women. Let me speak for women. Me, I'm not a physical person. Like, that's
so you only date niggas because you they type.
I date niggas because of
they like her.
Oh my god!
Period. Nigga.
Give me my money.
Give me my money.
But no, I have to agree with Nikki. I mean, to a sense, because I'm not gonna lie. Like, as of lately, if I look at my whole like, there's some mixies in there, but everyone knows my type. You know, I don't even gotta tell you.
But yeah, I don't know. Back to the MOTO. I will say, girl, take your time to heal, but do not, oh my gosh, it's so easy said than done because I've been there.
Right.
But do not go back to him. I'm telling you, he's not going to change. Only thing he's going to do is get better at hiding his cheating.
And then he loses all respect for you.
And he's 46. I'll be honest with you.
Part.
At 46, at that point, like, if you're not gonna get with it, then he's never gonna get with it.
Imagine dating a guy that's 46 and he's not trying to settle down. What are you doing?
That is wild. Like,
and he's still lying.
That is wild.
My thing is, I feel like as a 46-year-old, even as a grown man, like, I feel like you should know by now that keeping it honest is so P. Like, just, you know, you don't have to, like, I think that's what, like, why women, even that's what attracts them to older men, is because sometimes they can be more mature and then they'll tell you, like, this is what it is.
This is what it is.
Like, and I ain't gonna mince words to you. And that's what makes him more, like, you know,
attractive.
And so the fact that this man is sitting here lying,
mixing
like,
words.
what you lying for?
Yeah.
Who, at your big age, who gonna beat you?
Because like he wants to do what he wants, but he still wants someone in the home. And me personally, I'll just be honest with you, coming from experience, you really have to fight through this one. Like, it's gonna be really hard. Like, I don't want to sound like, oh, this is just gonna be a walk in the park. No, this is gonna be one of the hardest fights you have to fight to get over someone that you have a trauma bond with. Because you've experienced a life-changing moment with them, right? So that's where it started, right? And that was the genesis. And then y'all continue experiencing other traumas and y'all just got intertwined with each other. This is something you're really gonna have to sit down and talk to God, and you really have to fight through it. So this is big sis to you, like, you gonna really have to fight. That moment where you feel like, oh my God, it's not, you gotta push through. And sometimes it's, you can't throw yourself into another man, throw yourself into a hobby, throw yourself into God, throw yourself into something that's gonna distract you and take you away from him. But one thing's for sure, from what you said in this motto, this man does not care about you, and he's too old. Like, one thing my mom, it's so crazy. At my age, my mom already told me a cutoff should be, she's like, I don't even want you with someone that's in their 40s. If they're 40 not married, that's actually a halt. Because why are they not married yet? And then 2, he's 12 years your senior. He has no business being with you, and he knows that, and he's playing off of that. So, you know, I don't want you to be his victim anymore. Just leave. No, I understand it's gonna be hard, but like I said, just fight through. You got this. Like, fight for it.
Also, I feel like regarding, like, I think we touched on it, but regarding hitting up the other girl, like, if we haven't said anything that has stuck with you, do not hit that girl up. Like, please don't hit that girl up, because it's just like, it's gonna do so much damage. Then you gonna put your business. I feel like if you're gonna be embarrassed by a man, do that shit in private.
But they live in different states also.
But still, like, it's okay. It's just because here's my thing. Like, let's say if you go to this other girl, and even if she does leave him, like, I feel like she's just you're just gonna have a random girl who does not like you, who doesn't fuck with you. She's probably gonna check your page all the time. It just becomes into this, like, weird, like,
you know, you got a stalker.
Yeah, and then you're gonna be looking at her too. Like, just let it. Like, I just feel like you got to ask yourself this: if you cut this man off today, in 5 months, will that girl even matter? No.
And I'll be honest with you.
In 2 months, will she? No. So it's just like, you really got to just, like, don't do it. Like, I get she's feeling like, oh, I'm going to tell the other girl and ruin him too, because she wants to sabotage what she had with him as well. But, like, girl, trust me.
It sounds like this man has some, like, type of benefit to him, because I'll be honest, I highly doubt. That's what I'm saying. I highly doubt that he's treating this girl in Dallas any better. No, and the girl in Dallas probably knows what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Not like, nigga who live in DC.
Exactly. Ooh. So you're gonna come to her, slide in her DMs, now reveal your identity, and it's probably gonna be to no surprise to her.
Yeah. I mean, my advice is going to be contradictory for what I've ever said in this podcast. I don't know. If you want to DM the girl, DM her. I don't know. This is your story. This is your story. This is how you're going to feel. If it's really on your heart to DM somebody who lives in Texas and you're all the way in Maryland and you know who the girl is,
she knows her.
You know, I DM'd a girl. She knows of her. I DM'd a girl about my boyfriend at the time, and she told me, if you have to come and message me, then you already know what it is.
And that's exactly what you imagine. That's exactly what it is. So she ate. She ate. Left no crumbs. She ate that shit.
You know how embarrassing.
Bro, you know
I don't want her to feel that way.
And this is why I don't want you to feel like that way.
Like, I don't want you to get kicked when you're down. What's the point?
See, okay,
we are ruthless.
Damn, she ate. I'm sorry, Nikki.
Yeah, no, she did.
She told no lies, but also fuck her. But no,
literally.
But no, okay. What I meant to say is your healing process is so personal, you know, to you. So I don't know what it takes, because there are some people who just like, oh, they have to burn everything down. It's like, that's how, if you want to like throw the match and walk away, move on with your life and sell off to the sunset, that's 100% for you. Again, we are not the type of girls to come to people as a woman because it won't eat us up at night. But if to you're, because some people they look at it as being a girl's girl, so they look at it as like
people are
like. I mean, to me, sometimes it is, because they may just be like, oh, like, this nigga ain't shit, and I need you to know, and you can do with that information what you want to do with it. If you want to still fuck with him, you can, but me as a girl's girl, like I can't have you fucking with a nigga with a kid in DC who got all these bitches and this, that, that's how STDs and stuff are spread. Like I feel like sometimes transparency is required if it's on your heart to do, but at the same time, that's literally up to you. As far as this man goes, I would just say like your past is very much your future when it comes to your relationship. So a lot of times you're in a situation and you move on and you think it's never gonna happen again. It's very much gonna happen again. And the reason why it is because there is a way that a man looks at a woman when she accepts shit that he's done that he knows is foul. Y'all both know it's foul. So for him to know that you can accept that, where is the boundary going to be moving forward when you can accept the fact that he flew to Dallas to be with a whole nother girl? You went through his phone, did all this stuff. The proof was in your eyes. You know what I mean? And you still took him back. Like there's actually no going back to that. If you go back at this point, y'all are both accepting that he's somebody who does not prioritize fidelity in his relationships. That's not something that you want for yourself. You know what I mean? You sound like a bright girl. I mean, you're still in your 30s. You young girl. You say you turning out options. Spin a block on them.
Look at those options.
No, pick them back up. That's easy.
That man gonna be 50 in 4 years. Okay. And then you gonna be 40 soon. Why are you wasting your time with this man?
Yeah, and also too, like if you like want, like, you know, gotta give you different options. So if you want to stay with him, you need to be, you know, never mind.
That's not an option.
He's not
No,
even.
it's actually
no.
not
What
an
I'm
option.
saying is that because if she want, like, you gotta give people options in what they want to do.
That's not
if
an
you
option.
choose
That's
to
not
be
an
with
option.
him.
No, I'm not gonna give.
But what I'm saying, if you choose to be with him, because she said your healing journey is your journey. If you choose to be with him, there has to be some type of like strategy or plan of out, like. Maybe
wouldn't
stacking
even
bread
advise
up,
that.
stacking something up, and just dipping like some
I'm
sort.
sorry.
If you stay-
I
if
wouldn't
you're trying to
If you stay, you're gonna fumble your. Because one thing about men, they can derail your life. When you have that one red flag, like, because for all you know, you stay with this man, he gives you an incurable STD. You stay with this man, you actually get pregnant, have to keep the baby. You stay with this man, he funnels all your money to a different account. You stay with this man, and you never reach your hopes and dreams because you're so distraught over what he's doing to you that you can't even accomplish what you got going for yourself. Men will derail your future if you let them. If you have somebody in your life who is not pouring into you and is in fact making you pour out of yourself into these useless situations,
I would
leave
not, yeah,
immediately. In fact,
immediately.
you should have left when you saw the phone.
Yeah.
Like, even going back and all this extra is just extra. You know what I mean?
I think when he started playing around, like, I mean, like I said, that's why I said the whole snatching the phone, I felt like that was kind of excessive for me, because when he was like being weird about you seeing
should've
his
known
phone and
from
stuff like that, that's already a red flag for me. Like, what are you hiding? Like, what's going on? Do y'all live together? Because that's
But
even
my thing is, even
different.
without any of that, you still said that you have to beg him to spend time with you, to talk to you, like to communicate with you. And I feel like for somebody that's for you, that's just not how you're gonna have to do. Like, I don't feel like you have to beg anybody for simple, basic human rights. Like,
Yeah.
So I have a question. Like,
When you
even with
asked
that,
about it, he said he doesn't owe you anything.
and he said I can
But
bring
he's
a
a
wife and kids
narcissist.
pregnant
Yeah, he's
home,
a
and you wouldn't
narcissist.
even like. No,
yeah,
that's
knowing
very,
that y'all, you just
Yeah, he's a narcissist.
You just
what you went through.
terminated your pregnancy. You didn't want to, but he asked you to, and then it came and threw back in your face, and he could bring a wife and a child, and you wouldn't say
Narcissist.
anything about it. Girl, save yourself.
Yeah.
He hates you. I'm with Nikki.
Yeah,
but
he
my thing
actually does hate
is,
you.
why are like men, like, not saying all, but like a lot of, because I hear a lot of like people's dating experience and stories, like, what is the issue with communication? Like, a lot of men, like, you're having to like coerce them into like the basics. Like, for example, like talking to them or dating or doing little things, or like, for example, if you're in a, say if you call a man, your tire blew out, he should like offer resource. Like, you know, why are men like not
That's
like
not
getting it?
That's not okay.
You know what I mean? Like, why is it not clicking?
Because not all men are gentlemen. And that's just me being completely honest with you. Like, not all men have that like romantic chivalry side to them. Like, and to be quite honest with you, those are things that should have been taught when they were young.
Right.
And so whenever you get to a man that's in their late 30s, early 40s, that shit you can't teach them.
Right.
And so
Ooh.
whenever you realize that you have to keep begging for these things, it's not going to change. That should have been instilled in them a long time ago. When a man doesn't open your door, when a man doesn't do
Right.
like very simple things like, oh, check and make sure you made it home.
Yeah, that's because
That's a
it's not.
heavy-
in
You're never
him.
going to
Yeah,
get it.
yeah.
But I also feel like a lot of that has a lot to do with like from a man, like where you are in life. Like, I feel like it's a reflection, like how you treat people or how you treat women specifically is a reflection of where you are in life. I feel like a lot of men, excuse me, I feel like a lot of men who not necessarily have the money, because obviously we've seen men with money act like this as well. It's more so like, how are you making your money? What are you doing? Are you constantly on edge? Are you know what I mean? And also like, you know, what you do for work. Like, I feel like a lot of that has to do with like just not being like in a certain place in life or just being happy or content with the things that you have going on and things around you.
Right.
I feel like that has a lot to do with how you treat people. Like, and that's honestly, it can go for women as well. Like, if you're not happy internally, it's going to reflect in some way or somehow on the outside. Yeah. So it's like, I think that he's very unhappy. Like, I mean, he just needs to, I don't know, you're not responsible for this at all, but he definitely needs to dig deep and figure out what the issue is, because again, at 46, still doing the same shit that you was doing as a 25-year-old boy, to me, like, there's no growth going on here. And we need to figure out, not you, but he needs to figure out like why that growth hasn't taken place. Like, I feel like sometimes you got to sit and look at your life and be like, bro, something's not right, and I actually need to be responsible for it and figure out what the fuck it is, because like I can't keep moving like this. Like,
but sometimes I feel like it's not always like lack of growth. Sometimes I think it's just a decision to remain like complacent who they are. Some men don't want to change. Like, some men don't want to open doors for women.
I agree.
Some men have made the decision where it's like, well, I gotta open doors for you. No one's opening doors for me, and they had like that weird like equality factor when it comes to gender roles.
Equality, but not equality.
Yeah, and so it's like, I would say it's less about communication and more just about discernment. Like, if that's something that you value and you prioritize, just don't talk to men who don't open doors for you.
I agree.
I mean,
I agree.
A word. But yeah, so I hope like you heard what we said, and I really am sorry that you're going through something like that. It's just, even listening to the motto, that's like very disheartening. Like, that a grown man is treating a beautiful woman like you like that. Like, that's crazy. So I want better for you. I want better for us at this table, and women that are listening to this podcast as well. And men too. Like, we have to start valuing ourselves better, a little bit better. But yeah, honestly, Godspeed. And I really hope you write back and tell us like what happens the next month or two.
Yeah,
I see positive things coming your way.
All right, y'all. So we're going to go ahead and jump into the Petty Chronicle. Okay. So I know y'all have been getting a lot of my like online dating stories. I just want to let y'all know this is the last one because I'm done with online dating.
You said it last time.
Yeah. I might know, right? This is really it, because I'm like really done. I delete the app and everything. But okay, so there's this guy. Crazy enough, he's like one of the first men that I exchanged numbers with on this app. And he seemed cool, but it just felt like he became like a pen pal, like just always in my phone, but never really any action. And I really didn't have any time for that. And so like the one time he like finally was like, okay, let's do something. He was like, oh, let's watch a movie. And so I was like, okay, I'm already side-eyeing this, because I'm like, okay, where are we watching the movie? Yeah, I was like, sure. Like, what do you want to go see? And he was like, oh, no, you can come over to my place and watch a movie. I was like, well, that's weird, for one, because the fact that you would think that I would even, the first time I'm meeting you, I would be at your house watching a movie, it makes no sense. So I stopped replying to him after that. So he kept coming back, like, hey, like, you know, I apologize that I came at you wrong, whatever the case may be. Like, let's just, you know, start over. I said, okay, cool. So he was like, what did he do? And so then he said something like, okay, you know, I have a trip planned to, where was he going? Somewhere in the Caribbean. I forgot where, maybe Bahamas. He was like, hey, I have a trip planned at the beginning of September, end of August, something like that. He was like, would you want to go with me? And I was just like, like in my head, I'm like, okay, is this actually really going to happen or not? So I was like, sure, let's do it. And he was like, really, you would go? I was like, yeah, I'll go. And so he was like, okay, I'm going to let you know the hotel name so you can get a room. And I was just like, I didn't respond. Okay. Because that's like, at this point, it's like, okay, now this is not making any sense. Like, you're inviting me on a trip, but now you want me to pay. And I was just like, okay, like I was expecting to like get my flight. Cool. But like, everything else,
take care of accommodation.
Everything else, it really should be on you. So I stopped replying. So he kept hitting me up like day in, day out. And like, I wasn't responding. And then finally he was like, hey, like I thought we had a trip, like we were planning a trip. Like you went ghost. What's going on? And I was just like, well, you know, you invited me on this trip and then you asked me to like get my room. And he was like, oh, well, he's like, I was just telling you. He's like, I'm going to pay for the room. And I was like,
why don't you just book it?
No, because he's trying to humble her in that moment. Weirdo.
So I was just like, no, I was like, to be honest with you, it's like, it might be semantics, but how, if you were to say like, because he was like, oh, well, I thought it would be an issue if I said that I was going to get us one room. I was like, yeah, you're right. It would have been. But this is how you put it. You should put like, hey, I'm going to get 2 rooms at this hotel instead of being like, hey, I'm gonna give you the hotel information so you can get your room. I was like, do you see how this could be a little like weird?
Yeah.
And he was like, well, why are you calling me weird? And
so now I'm calling you names. Missed the whole point.
He's like, I just don't understand what's weird. Is it weird that I wouldn't offer you one room, or is it weird that I didn't say I was gonna pay for it? And I was like, at this point, y'all, this is actually what I was like, you know what? I'm done with online dating because people are weird. Like, this is actually like weird at this point. There's a reason why I should have just stuck to my guns and stopped replying to him when I first initially did. But I ended up just blocking him. And I really don't block people, but I feel like at this point, like, there was no other way to get around this. So, like, I don't know if I was really petty because I don't feel like I was, but was I petty in that moment? Like, should I just been like, just stop talking to me?
You stood on business and...
Petty for like not responding?
Yeah, like just like blocking him, really.
No.
I mean, blocking is always going to be petty, especially mid-conversation.
Literally.
I don't know.
It was mid-conversation.
Exactly.
I don't know, guys. Like, I don't know, like... Y'all,
doesn't mean
why
you
do we
have
have
a
to sit here and
reason, but it was
accept
petty.
shenanigans? Like, you see someone shenanigans, but no, I'm just saying, she blocked him after, like, the games kind of got drawn out. Like,
but
I don't see petty behavior.
But it
it's
is
very
petty.
matter of factual. It's just
Really?
She blocked him mid-sentence.
Yeah.
It's petty.
Honestly, the realest thing you've done in that
To be honest, the
situation.
mature... Not saying it wasn't mature. I'm saying the mature route would have just been like to explain, like, hey, you know what? Honestly,
I don't want to do this.
Like you've done in the past, like, hey, like the way that this trip was proposed is not the way that it's going. Honestly, like I don't think I want to
But
go.
I feel like I tried to do that, and I told him that. I told him straight up. I was like, you know what? I just feel like maybe we should stop communicating because I just don't feel like this is going anywhere. I literally said
What'd
that.
he say?
He was like, well, I just don't understand why you would call me weird. Whenever I was proposing a trip for us and I was willing to pay for the room, is it because I didn't say I was going to pay for the room? He just kept going around that. It almost like,
I agree.
I almost felt like he was like gaslighting me to feel like I'm like, I don't know, begging or like looking for a handout, something crazy. Like I just felt off.
And he may not have meant that, but I feel like he just wasn't being direct enough. And I feel like you were being direct and you weren't being, it wasn't being like, you know, reciprocated. Like he was like dancing around stuff. I'm gonna be honest with you. I would have been annoyed after he said the whole trip thing and I'll send you the things to get your room. I would have been done by then because I'm like, this is games.
Yeah.
I'm not here for this. Is like how he's probably like mid-30s.
I think he's like 31.
Too grown. Oh. Okay.
Yeah, I probably just been like,
Yeah.
You said he's
sorry.
31.
I'm gonna kind of backtrack a little bit.
I just don't want to go anymore.
Yeah.
I just probably would have said that. And
I'm not interested.
yeah,
Thank you though for the invite,
because
but
the communication was it on the app or off the app?
Off the app.
Oh damn. Okay, yeah, but I just definitely would have been.
you know, like he did all that work to now start playing games in the phone.
it's not that
But,
much
like-
work. He didn't do that.
No,
much.
what I'm
He
saying
didn't
is
do
that
enough,
like you got
actually,
someone's
so.
number to now start like toying with them, dangling a trip. Like this is a grown woman you talking to, and stop thinking that she one of them. Like,
Bahamas.
I think Bahamas.
like when you said his age, it's like they're kids too. I'm sorry, like hate to even say that sometimes. Like some of these little 30, 31-year-olds, a little childish.
It's only petty because like.
So I have a question. Like, so
Respectfully, I don't know.
So how would y'all, okay, maybe I need to ask this question. How would y'all have handled that situation then? Because like, y'all would literally have been going back and forth with someone that's just like playing around.
I literally just said that I would just be like, I don't want to go anymore. Like, and I probably would have stopped talking to him from there because I feel like there was so much in between. Like if you would have just been like, I don't want to go anymore, he probably would have stopped talking about it because you sit here trying to fish why I don't want to go. If I tell you I don't want to go, then it cuts all that out. It's just straight to the point. I don't want to go anymore.
Yeah.
There's that.
Yeah. Only because, I mean, I liked him enough to want to go initially. So it's just like, I think that if like a situation popped up like that, I probably wouldn't have went straight to blocking. But I don't think you're wrong for blocking.
Yeah, I don't
That's
think
where
you're
the
wrong.
pettiness comes in.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Like, I mean, there's probably a better way to handle it, but you're allowed to set your boundaries where you want to set them. So.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So there's been a lot going on in the world lately. Where do y'all want to start? Because we gotta stop. We gotta start at the candle lady.
No, we're gonna get blocked.
Okay.
I'm already blocked.
You talking about Jackie Ina?
Well, technically, I'm blocked on Twitter, and she deleted her Twitter. So
Okay.
technically,
So
I'm not
let's
blocked.
start about
We
okay.
can start with Jackie.
Okay. So my good sis. I don't know about them, but I love Jackie. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Okay. So Jackie Ina. she
Don't block us.
I know, right? I
You can
really
block
don't,
me,
I
girl.
really don't want to be blocked. I'm actually like a really avid fan.
Never say anything negative about you, but the truth.
No, okay, pause. Before y'all start this, did you even see that girl who said good things about her?
Yeah.
And her next video was like, she blocked me.
Yeah, that's what I sounds like. I'll never say anything bad about you, but the truth. So
She
like,
said, I'm sad. What was the last straw?
She said, Jackie, I'm on your side. And she was.
Yeah,
she
she
was riding
was.
for Jackie.
She
Because
said, what was the
honestly,
last
Jackie,
straw?
if you know your audience, you know your audience.
Okay, so recently, Jackie Aina, she changed her name. I think the first time she changed her name was on TikTok. She changed her last name. And as we all know, Jackie Aina has been engaged probably for like the last 3 years. Okay. 6 years.
You're blocked.
blocked and still
Blocked.
keeping up.
You're blocked. You're blocked.
I'm just saying
You're
that's
blocked. You're done. You're blocked, Michelle.
Is it actually 6 years?
Yeah, that's where the discourse came from.
Okay.
I think it's
That's
rumored that
not
she
where
got
the discourse came
It's
from.
been 6 years.
no.
I was gonna say
That's
6
where the
years.
discourse came from because people really got blocked because they was like in her comments talking some congratulations finally, and it's like y'all do deserve to get blocked. Y'all being
y'all
funny.
deserve to
Okay.
be funny.
I thought
So-
she got engaged in
And something-
2020.
Something came out, girl. That's before then. Forever Mood dropped in 2020.
I don't.
There's no way Forever Mood dropped in 20. We're in 2024.
Girl, when do you think I got blocked?
Forever Mood, the perfume just came out this year.
They're talking about the candle.
Girl, what?
The
She's
candle.
a company.
Oh,
Yeah.
So, okay, so I
But I'm
really.
talking about. I didn't know they were married for 6 years. That's something like that.
They're not married.
They're not
They just got
married.
No,
So they
I know engaged, but keep going.
So they were engaged. She got engaged. Now we have to fact check that because I don't know if it's 3, 6, whatever it might be. But she has been engaged for a little bit longer of a time than what people would see an engagement for. But she recently changed her last name on like TikTok, on all her social media platforms, and people start to congratulate. But like that backwards hand congratulations, like Michelle said, like congratulations, finally, and whatever the case may be. So she just started going on a blocking spree. And so then people started coming around with discourse of, I don't know why Jackie would be blocking her fans, whatever the case might be. Like they were just congratulating her and yada, yada, yada. So how y'all feel about...
I mean,
I'm kind of with Michelle. Yes, a lot of those blockings were deserved.
I'm not gonna
because
lie.
it's like I feel like people were being shady. Like if you're gonna tell somebody congrats, don't try to be shady about it. Like that means it's not genuine. So I'm gonna fucking block you because you trying to be funny under my goddamn post about something that's not funny.
Yeah, I knew it was, and it was rumored that because I think somebody was about to had did like a thing, pretty much saying like it's about to be 7 years and she's still not married type shit. So it already came out that they said that she hurried up and got married just because she didn't want to hit that 7th year mark or whatever. And then for that to come out, and then y'all, because her last name changed, y'all in her comments saying congratulations. She never talked about her wedding, nothing like that. So y'all congratulating her on something she didn't announce. So it's already shady
In itself.
and she probably didn't want that out. So I think she's probably just blocking to get y'all's comments up out of her stuff. And she probably thought y'all was being messy, so she's probably just trying to like clear her
Filter it
space.
out, which I feel her.
But Jackie Aina, she's very liberal with that block button. I'll give it that because one time I did tweet something and Jackie Aina didn't just block me. I didn't even know she blocked me until people were telling me like, "Damn, Michelle, you got me blocked because I liked or I responded."
Michelle
or I
got
did
me
this."
blocked for sure. Because you definitely got me blocked on Twitter. But
so that's why I feel like she probably has an app. Or
and I don't even feel like I don't even know. It probably was just because I was following you.
Yeah,
I just was like, bro, what?
I think you might just responding to the tweet. Like if you just replied and was like this, that, and other, it's like everyone who engaged in that tweet got blocked.
So I think it's one of those things where, for me, I think that Jackie is like kind of one of, I don't follow a lot of like influencers, but for me, she's like one of the most relatable influencers I think I follow. She gives me vibes of things that, like I would like to do. And so I kind of feel her, like, for me, like at the end of the day, like you want to see on social media what you want to see. And if you're a hater, what do you need to follow me for? That's really where it's at. Like with me, it's like, if you really like are coming on here to like throw shade at me, whatever the case might be, you really don't need to follow me because clearly you're not a fan of me. So my content is going to really do nothing for your timeline. So what is a block?
And mind you, we don't even know if she's married.
So my thing
That's very
is,
true.
we're not going to speak towards the shady people. We'll speak toward the people that were actually uplifting her. I'll be real with you. I like Jackie Aina. She's cool, but how she's handling everything, I just kind of think it's a little childish. Like, you're on a public platform. You chose to put your life on Front Street. This is what it comes with. You knew what you were doing when you changed your last name. I'm sorry, I'm not playing with you on that. You knew what you're doing when you changed your last name. So, of course, it's going to raise speculation like, oh, she got married. Of course it's going to do that. And you knew it was going to do that. So you acting so weird, blocking all people. I'm not going to lie, like, if I was a fan of you probably would have lost me because it's like, dang, like, why are you acting like that? Like, you started off on YouTube. And then you went to Twitter and like you pick and choose what you want to share. Cool, but it's like at the end of the day, if people are congratulating you, why are you blocking them?
See?
Or then if that's the case, then take the last name off, change it back to Ina. Girl, no one forced you to do that. You wanted to do that, so why are people now getting backlash for supporting you? It's crazy.
I feel like sometimes we get entitled in like what we're expecting these influencers to share. I do feel like as an influencer, yes, you decided to get up here and share your life, but there's also parts of life that you can pick and choose what you want to share. True. And if she didn't publicize it, then why are you in my comment trying to like do a lot? If I changed my last, I could have got married 3 years ago. Right. But it's still just like I didn't share that, so don't comment on it.
She doesn't have to acknowledge. She can keep moving.
But it's almost like she's like people are trying to like force her hand to talk about it or to make a statement. That's
exactly what it is.
And it's like even with them coming on and like doing all this discourse and people talking about it, she still hasn't addressed it. She's clearly not going to address it, so people might as well just leave it alone.
True, but take people like Peak Mill, same thing. Just there's a way you handle things. I just feel like it's being mishandled. That's my opinion on the matter.
I mean, I see that, but I also think that this is like a great example of like how parasocial relationships actually like happen like in our society, because I agree with Crystal. There is a lot of entitlement that happens when it comes to like social media influencers and just celebrities, people who are on a pedestal in general, where we think we know them and we have relationships with them more than we do. Because did Jackie wish you a congratulations with anything that you had going on? No. So the fact that you feel like you need to wish her congratulations, and then on top of that, it's like she blocked you, and not only do you feel entitled to her business, now you feel entitled to her page. Like you're upset that you, because when Jackie blocked me, I don't give a fuck. It's like okay, you don't, like that's just life. That's almost like you see somebody who is pregnant. They never told you they was pregnant. They just look pregnant. Congratulations on your pregnancy. We know it's taboo to congratulate or speak on stuff that you don't know. Not announced. In everyday society, it's weird as fuck. But for some reason, because somebody is on a platform and it's like that barrier of access is lower where you can actually speak to them without them reaching out and touching you, you feel like you can be like, oh, congratulations in a funny way. In real life, if someone did not tell you they got married, and you have no proof that they got married, you didn't see a picture, nothing, you're not going to congratulate them. And
it's almost a way of you being nosy, because how many times has somebody went up to you and said something where it's like, I know I didn't tell you that. Right. So why are you even bringing it up? Like what? Even if there's no ill intent, it's still just like, why are you? Because now you're being nosy. Like, don't do that.
You can. In real life, you cannot congratulate nobody on nothing they didn't tell you. That's like if Nikki got a new job and Paulette told me, I can't come to Nikki and be like, congratulations. I might just be like,
you have to wait
until I come to you.
Yeah, if I was to say congratulations, Nikki would look at me just like, you'd be well within your rights to be like, on what?
And that's exactly what the response would be. On what?
Because I didn't tell you shit. It's none of your business. I'm not saying that you would. I'm just saying in general, that's just how life works. But for some reason, social media acts like they can like be above the regular social etiquette that we all subscribe to.
And she's like, again, I feel like it is a little OD. Like she's a little liberal with the blocking, but at the same time, like, it's her feed. She don't want to see none of that shit. And I feel her. Clear it out. Like, sometimes you gotta like, bro, you know how long it takes to get some certain shit off your feet? Like, off of your actual Explore page and stuff? Like, nah, I don't want to see discourse about myself when like, y'all conjure this up yourself. I don't want to see discourse. Let's block it out.
I'm upset because I do not want to be up here defending Jackie Ina. I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to, because I really do feel like sometimes she be petty, but the discourse has gotten to the point where it's just like, okay, y'all
are being OD.
Yeah, I'm like,
I actually feel her.
Yes, like,
I actually feel her.
People are going to her page, commenting congrats, and like making a video on how long it takes Jackie to block them. Like,
oh, I didn't know.
Touch grass, baby girl. Like, get outside. Like, this is actually insanity.
Yeah, just give us a poke the bear situation.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so let's talk about our next girl, CARESHA.
Ooh.
Did y'all have a chance?
Absolutely.
First off, did y'all catch the announcement?
Sure. Which one? Which announcement?
There's no more City Girls.
Oh yeah.
She announced that on the interview.
A while ago.
In which interview?
Okay, so
that's what I'm talking about in the interview.
Oh, okay. No, but she announced it before that on a magazine. An interview with I don't know who it was with, but
that's the first actual announcement that
she actually said.
Yeah, she came out and said, "We're not in a group. Don't ask me about it."
Yeah. JT was just on another platform talking about Secret, and she said that they're just working on separate projects right now, but they're still a group.
Yeah.
So
she needs to stop doing that.
So backstory. So we know CARESHA Please is a podcast on Revolt, and so she came back. I think it's like season 2. But it was actually her who was like the person who was being interviewed by Saucy Santana, who is her best friend. And so on the interview, she addressed she addressed her mental health. She addressed where her status is at with P. Diddy and JT, her friendship, City Girls as a whole. Basically, the City Girls are done. They're not a group. She said, from her words, is it's cool, but it's not all cool whenever it comes to her and JT's relationship with Diddy. I think she said she's cut ties with him, right? It's kind of...
So she tried to put out... That's what she tried to insinuate.
And then she just said that this has been the hardest time of her life, and that people that she usually thought would be there have not been there during this time. So how y'all feel about the interview?
You would have thought she was Cassie. I'm sorry. Like, for real, the way she was acting, like, I'm not gonna lie, like, I wasn't expecting a tell-all. I was not expecting, especially Saucy Santana. Y'all were not telling anything.
Exactly.
But what I will say is that I was very disappointed that, like, the role she chose to play in the whole Diddy thing, she did not she uplifted Diddy so much in that interview. And then her own friend, you threw shade on her countless of times. But it's like, my thing is too, like, Miami, this was your moment to try to clean your name when it comes to situation at least a little bit. And to me, I'm not gonna lie, like, I just feel like you're still involved.
But my question is, were we really... The thing is, this was definitely a very strategic, planned PR move. So were we actually really expecting for CARESHA to come through and give us a tell-all?
No,
I really wasn't. I truly wasn't. Like, I didn't think that
I knew it was going to be very limited. There was, it was
going to be strategic.
Things that she left out. Yeah, of course. Absolutely.
Yeah, I guess it was strategic, but to me, I don't know. Okay, so yeah, I guess we could just start from, like, the beginning of the interview when she talked about her mental health. It was sad, like, watching her emotion, that was sad and all that stuff. Like, I get it. Everyone goes through mental, like, obstacles, okay? But then, like, it got to the part where, like, when they were talking, I'm just gonna skate through Diddy. We can come back around to that. The JT situation. I honestly didn't respect when she said the whole thing with Cardi B, the reason why she never spoke up for her friend because she wasn't included in Super Freaky Girl. Baby girl, Nikki asked for JT, not City Girls. And so you can't put that on JT. And if that's your friend, at the end of the day, you should still have her back, just how she has yours. But to me, like, Miami just gave, like she felt like she was entitled in JT's moment. What's going on with her? Like, oh, she should be including me like I did when we were in jail. But it's like, y'all are under a contractual agreement. You had to do those things. Yeah. You could not do those things, unfortunately, you know?
I think it's one of those things where it just sounded very like that friend who's you're in competition with.
Yeah.
It's like, instead of you just being like excited for JT, like clearly JT loves Nikki, whatever the case may be, like they're forming that bond. Instead of you being like, hey, I'm not a part of that bond, I'm not going to support it, or I'm not going to like stick up for my friend. It's like, I'm just going to not say anything. And I think people use that as a scapegoat. When people don't say anything, it actually says a lot.
Yeah. I also feel like, I don't know, my take is a little different. I do agree with, I feel like the issue in particular with the whole Super Freaky Girl portion that she brought up was it wasn't the fact that, like, okay, you didn't respond because, you had nothing to do with the song. It's the fact that you never respond. You know what I mean? It's not just one instance. And I feel like Saucy Santana should have dug deeper into it. And obviously it was like edited. I think these questions were pre-picked and all that. But if you wanted to really capture the audience, he should have asked, okay, you didn't say anything that time, but what about every other time? This time when she was arguing with Glorilla, you tweeted LOL. What was funny about that? Why is it consistently that why is it a consistent thing that you, whenever JT or your counterpart is getting to it with somebody, you take a back seat. Yeah. You take a back seat. And the thing is, like, you don't have to argue with everybody, because I do feel like, they're just on two different waves. I do feel like, I don't know. I just feel like, you of course, you don't want to argue with everybody, but at the same time, it's just like, where's a relationship at those points in time where you know what I'm saying, where you have chosen not to, because you've done that at, like, where y'all weren't broken up. You know what I mean? Like, now, of course, yes. So it's like no expectations, but like before, I just feel like that's the question that should have been dug deep into a little bit. But as far as like everything else, I don't feel like I didn't really take it as like shade towards JT. I didn't, because she spoke very matter of factly. We are not the best of friends.
We're not. The world doesn't need to know that. That's
what they asked in the question. She said that, like, we're not the best of friends. I don't hate her. She said that's always going to be my sister. But she said you can tell there's a rift between, because there is. She's like, I'm not going to say everything's all good. And I feel like she even said in the interview, our relationship changed when it got taken to the internet. She's like, because at that point I feel like we got to air each other's dirty laundry, and I don't rock with that.
But wasn't it Miami? Wasn't it Miami who commented on it first? So JT was like, I think JT was having like some back and
With
forth
Glorilla.
with Glorilla. And then Miami came through and said, I don't know what she said, but it was very clear. It was a very clear dig towards JT.
She said,
so that's when JT.
Yeah, which is what I just mentioned, the whole LOL thing. But
So
that's what I'm saying is that's when she said that's when our relationship changed. Like
So
I feel like
the relationship. So who are we blaming for the relationship?
I don't even know if there's blame, but I feel like, and even if she did, I guess JT going as far as like, okay, we're actually gonna have an argument on the internet. It's like, check her on her phone. Like I kind of like, don't do that. I feel like that's where their relationship changed, which I don't want to say I feel her, but I understand that. Like, yes, once our relationship crosses certain boundaries, we're not gonna be the same. Even if, whether it's you going to the internet or you doing something behind my back, whether it even reaches the public, there are certain things that if you do, it's going to be very hard for us to come back from.
But there was also plenty of times
yeah.
where I feel like Young Miami was being funny on the internet.
Yeah.
But before that time. But I do agree with you that the going back and forth to me was even kind of just like, y'all in a group. Like, y'all can't.
Yeah,
y'all can't
like
get this
just
to
you
the
just.
So, you know,
and I feel like, and what she said was like, there's been plenty of times where like JT has kind of forced her to like not even pick a side. Like you want the internet to pick a side. Like you want everybody to be like, okay, JT or CARESHA, and she feel like she's pushed that agenda. Now I'm not. Let me be clear here. I'm not really even defending CARESHA because I feel like there was a lot of things that she did wrong in that interview that I really just don't rock with, or that I just don't agree with. Let me not say she did wrong. I just don't agree with. But I do feel like when it came to the JT portion in particular, like I feel like she said what it was very matter of factly. Like, look, that's always going to be my sister, but we're right now. But I'm not going to sit here and act like everything's all good because it's not.
But I do. Sorry, keep going.
I feel like that was my biggest issue with the whole thing. I think that the interview was about JT.
Yeah,
that was the only time I felt like she was ever transparent or real about how she felt. Because when it came to Diddy, you talked about him for 3 seconds, saying, "Oh, I was."
He's such a great guy.
Like you pretty much was just like you
lifting
had
him up in such a bright light.
Oh, I didn't experience this, that, and other. I felt like there was a lot more we wanted to say.
Yeah.
She's talking about, well, I didn't experience that part of Diddy. You experienced enough for you to get on the internet, the same internet you said JT be on, and say that if Diddy told you to eat me out right now, you'd be an eater hoe. Something to that effect. Yeah. You knew Diddy enough to know that he could coerce somebody else to give you fellatio against their own personal will. So you know he had autonomy over other people's bodies. But that wasn't your experience personally. Okay, got it. But then when it comes to JT, all of a sudden it's no holds bars. Like, to me,
it gave like, I'm not gonna lie, what I got from him, like, dang, you know, JT needs extreme, not JT.
Yeah, she threw JT in the best reviews.
Yeah, Young Miami, I'm about to touch base on that next. Young Miami needs extreme PR training. Like, that was a disaster. Like, if your team is really trying to rebrand you, that is not the way to go. Like, especially your bandmate just dropped her project, you're stepping on it. Like, you're trying to throw mud all over her name because you're upset that tables have turned for you. Unfortunately, I am sorry to say this about Young Miami, but you thought things were gonna pan out, but shit's not sweet anymore for you. And to me, I feel like you should be uplifting your bandmate. In this moment, you chose to put her down and now start talking about stuff we don't give a fuck about. You did not come back to Revolt to talk about JT's success. We want to know what the hell was going on with you in this whole Diddy stuff. We're not here for that.
So let me
ask
y'all, because at one point she did mention that she said JT's, she said we're just kind of on our separate paths. JT's doing her own thing. She's making new music, and she did not tell me about that. So let me.
And I feel like she shouldn't have said that.
But
messy.
I gotta tell you shit.
Why would she tell you that?
Actually, she doesn't have to. You have. See, the thing is, and honestly, I'm gonna say this like this. I think Miami is literally the poster child of somebody who's used to being the preference and cannot handle where they're not preferred anymore. I really think the fact that the audience prefers JT right now in this setting over Miami, I think it really fucks with her. I feel like when the City Girls was really fucking with Young Miami's personality, all other shit, when they were calling JT ugly, this and that, and dragging her from east to west. Young Miami loved being in the City Girl. She did. But she does not like being the least favorite rapper in the City Girls. I think that's what really bothers her. That's why every single time when JT is trending in the news for something, here comes Young Miami with a project that she has not pubbed at all, but we're going to hear the screening, the teaser, the release. We're going to hear something about Young Miami when JT's trending. Young Miami just cannot stand that. And it's like a little bit of hateration that has always been there that maybe they don't need to be together because it's so clear.
Yeah. I agree.
Because it's like, okay, so let me ask y'all this question. So it's kind of like this. What if someone on this podcast decided to like venture out into something else media related? Do you expect them to come to you and be like, hey, I'm deciding to venture into this avenue before they've even like gotten their feet wet or even like figured out like this is what they actually want to do?
Let's change the guys. Like not before they got their feet wet, in the middle of them doing it. Like some people know, but not y'all don't know. So because people knew that everybody knew that JT was doing music.
People didn't know.
Everybody.
Well,
How did we know before Miami would know? That wouldn't make any sense.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's what I'm saying. Okay, hold on. Scratch that. What I meant was, because you said before people get their feet wet, she said that she was making new music. JT's a rapper. Like, I feel like everybody, even in interviews, people always ask, are there solo projects coming? When no bars hit, that's what I meant. Like, at that point, this is
But
way
my question
past-
is, do you think that Caresha came to JT before she made Caresha Please?
No.
Or did she have that conversation with Diddy and say, hey, Diddy offered her
Thank you.
a option to do a podcast on Revolt, which he owned. Do you think that JT, or you think that Caresha came to JT and was like, hey girl,
No.
I'm going to do this podcast. Do you mind?
Thank you.
No.
So why do you want?
now,
why do you want her to do that?
Now
to
you feel entitled to the fact that she now has to come to you about solo music. How?
No,
And as a rapper needs to tell you that they rapping.
A rapper. That's how you know you're not a rapper. Because why would she share that? Like, you should know as a rapper, they're always making music. You're always working on music.
And it's not even new music like this. This is music that JT was on Instagram Live just saying that I'll be playing around in the studio, and people begged her to drop no bars. She didn't drop no bars for months. So he's talking about she's working on solo project that no bars that was on TikTok for a month before JT even got the balls to release it. But then, that wasn't a real project. JT was just playing in the studio because she's a rapper.
I definitely feel like
Miami don't be in the studio. I think she thinks it's weird.
I definitely feel like this mixtape was not started to be worked on until clearly after No Bars dropped and her and Caresha had a riff.
Yeah,
for sure. But I don't know. Y'all want to go back on the whole Diddy
and rap?
Yes.
No, like I don't know. My thing with Young Miami, like, she is very successful in her own right? But I just think that she has a lot of work to do when it comes to the industry. She has a lot of work to do because at the end of the day, like, it's not just us saying this. Like, it just looks bad when you're throwing your bandmate under the bus. Beyonce would never do it. Even when 3LW were doing that, people were looking at them crazy. Like, things like that, it just looks crazy. Yeah. And like at the end of the day, y'all are still city girls, and like for you to say, but we're still sisters. No, you're not. Y'all are not friends, and it shows. And it looks like you don't like where her career is going without you. Because ever since JT stopped working on city girl stuff, she's been moving. Girl has motion.
So how do y'all feel about her take, like what she said about Diddy?
I think Caresha is crazy. Like, I do. I feel like if you're going to talk about Diddy, you need to talk about what's important. I was fooling with Diddy when everyone was showing her love. I didn't want to hear that. That's not what we're talking about.
I was upset because, or not upset, I just didn't, it's just, I feel like she kind of made herself the victim.
She did. That's what I would have thought she was Cassie.
And I don't, and although I feel like, yes, Caresha, the world did turn on you, but like people are dying, Caresha. Like the people are gonna turn on people. That's literally the name of the game of being famous.
You were dating a monster.
On top of that, talk about domestic violence. It didn't even mention Cassie once.
She didn't mention anything. I feel like you didn't touch and that's why I'm like, I'm kind of like with this whole Caresha podcast because I feel like, respectfully, they're both entertaining. Her and Tenzin are both entertaining, but I don't feel like. And I'm not saying like I know everything, but I feel like just to even put yourself in an interviewer perspective, like there are certain things, especially with the light being on her for as long as it has, especially with her being attached to Diddy. There were so many things that the internet wanted to hear you address, or people want to hear you address. I don't feel like she got in there and she said, "Oh, people want me to have this experience that I didn't have." I sat here on this podcast and I said, I don't feel like they're having domestic issues, so that's not what I want her to speak about. But the thing is, you can also say like, you know what? I was made aware of those things at the time with the internet, and after that, I decided to do this. Is how I feel about it. Like, what do you actually feel about the video that everybody else saw, Caresha? Like that, what do you feel about? Even though that wasn't an experience with you, how do you feel about him now that seeing these things takes place? That obviously that that was him.
Right.
How do you feel about date? Like, those are the questions that we wanted to hear, but we don't want to hear that, okay, you've been through domestic violence in the past and you said you'll never go through that again. We know that Diddy did put his hands on you, but he's put his hands on another woman and it went public. So now what?
And how do you feel about that?
How do you feel about that? Like, he's also, your name is in a lawsuit. How do you feel about that, Caresha? Yeah. You've been attached to his name and you've been his biggest supporter. So yes, people are going to attach your name to him. And when people drag him down, you're going to take that fall with it. How do you feel about that? So I don't feel like people are turning against you. People were turning against Diddy. You were just attached to him. So I don't understand why you're taking the fall for this or just playing this whole like woe is me thing. Like, I don't feel bad just for the simple fact that, again, like, bro, looking at what Cassie was in, or looking at, and not even to sit here and compare to other women, but like I said, bro, people are dying, Caresha. There was so much like, I don't know, I just feel like there was so much other things that could have been touched on and you just made it about like I don't know. Like
I think where they messed up at allowing Santana to be the one interviewing her.
Yeah,
if they would have got
he was
Jason
too close
Lee,
to her.
If they would have got
Jason Lee, would have ate that shit up.
And
Jason Lee would have ate that
and
shit
the reason
up.
why they won't give it to Jason Lee because Jason Lee will leave her there to hang.
But,
like for real.
But that wasn't
Casket
even
closed.
that wasn't an interview. That was a script. It was clear.
It was
And I think
clear.
the issue was Santana even knew the script as well because there were certain moments where even his questions, like he had the answer to kind of guide her on how to answer. Like he'd be like, "So this happened, but also like that wasn't your personal experience. So I know you've never been through that, but I know you have been through domestic violence." I'm like, "Dang, can she answer? Like, what the fuck? What is she supposed to say after you say all that?"
Right. He's coaching her.
He's coaching her,
and that's kind of crazy. Yeah, the whole entire time I was like, "Dang, like if they had Jason Lee here, we would have really." Been,
I think it's one of those things
the right
where
questions would have been asked.
At the end of the day, Miami, she skated around a lot of answers to questions that were asked. Like, okay, did you ever experience any type of like domestic violence with Diddy? I've been in 2 domestic violence relationships, and I told myself I would never go through that again. Okay, so
But she never told us with who, so we don't know. It
and that's what I'm saying. You never said.
You don't know.
You know what I'm saying? Like none of it made any sense. I just feel like.
That's what I said, but you just don't know who she's talking about.
You don't know who she's talking about, which is also even more unfortunate because now you have people over here speculating that your last baby's father was abusive towards you, and if he wasn't, that's actually really unfair because you want to try to evade questions. Now you're putting spotlight on people that actually might not deserve spotlight. That's one thing, and then 2, I definitely feel like Miami. There was no accountability.
No,
there was no accountability in this. It was. Oh, everyone goes through this at one point in time whenever you're famous. What? What do you mean? Like, you know how many famous people are out there that haven't had any type of scandal? They just live their life. Like,
look at Michael Jackson.
How many? Let's actually count because
Kobe Bryant.
I feel like there's very few actually.
No,
Shaq. I mean,
Kobe had a whole rape charge.
I'm just saying, like. Big scandals and they still like came and talked. You've had a platform to talk about something and like the fact that you didn't say nothing to me is just.
But to be honest, to be honest though, it's CARESHA, please. So you're gonna spin the narrative how you want it on your show. Yeah. So good job for that because if something happened, we would do the same thing. Like I'm gonna tell y'all what I want to talk about on my podcast, and that's it. Y'all not gonna get anything extra out of me. That's what the fuck I want to talk about because that's my story and that's it. So. Great, but I just feel like as a whole, boring.
Are y'all gonna watch another episode?
Is she gonna have another episode?
If she has one, I'm like, did Revolt bring her back for that?
Oh, I thought they brought her back for a whole new season. Maybe it's one of those.
But she still has a show.
Maybe it's a pilot.
Seasons?
Maybe it's a pilot. Shows.
Maybe it's a pilot to actually see.
Girl, it's just shows.
I think she had like 1 episode last year.
Oh, maybe it's a pilot just to see if like how her views do and to see if they should bring back.
Of course, the views are gonna be great. When you said like y'all made it look like it was gonna be a tell-all.
She got 1 million views in like less than a day. Which is really good for YouTube, especially.
It's very good.
And for long form content. Yeah. So, I mean, shout out to you. I mean, regardless, I always love a black woman doing their thing. I do feel like she could have took a lot more accountability, but keep in mind that she is named in the lawsuit. There's very little she actually can say without admitting guilt. So it's just like, I mean, you did what you could, but you could have done better.
Yeah. Your training.
All right. So, America's Sweetheart. Keke Palmer.
No, I'm sorry. That's a rumor. I don't even want to like give that. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, the rumor is that Keke Palmer is pregnant, and I don't know where that rumor came from.
I think it's because it came from the picture.
Bro, she just had a baby. Can we not?
That's why I said
I'm just like, bro, that baby's not even a year.
I think
like,
we're not doing that.
Yes, we are doing that. Why are we expecting women to look super snatched?
I was confused by that because like, wait, or like, did she like? I was looking to make sure like, did she confirm it? But I'm like, just based on this picture,
she doesn't. She didn't.
That's why Jackie Anna started blocking y'all.
She went to
speculating.
She went to the zoo with her ex and had
her baby's father.
Yeah, her baby's father to have a co-parenting moment with their son. I don't think it's one of those things where now she's like back with her ex or she's just trying to co-parent.
That's what it looked like to me. It's just and I don't think she looks pregnant to me. That's why I'm just like,
she didn't really look pregnant to me. I mean, there was an angle that I was like, but again, women's bodies are able to do a lot. She could just be bloated. It's a lot of things. I don't speculate.
Yeah.
No, we can talk about Sky though. Sky Jackson.
Oh yeah.
I definitely saw. She's definitely. I saw that bump.
She was just involved.
Well, she involved. She said that she was pregnant.
She with her.
Yeah. So Sky Jackson, she's more so known for being on Disney Channel. I don't know if y'all know her from anything else. That's what I know her from.
That was the last thing she did.
Okay, so she's known for being for Disney Channel, and it's like kind of crazy because like she went from being like this like really like petite, sweet. Like sweet, like innocent girl on Disney Channel to like just growing up in front of us. She's a very beautiful girl, but probably last week it came out that she was involved in a domestic violence dispute with her current partner. They said that she hit him.
When the video came out, she pushed him.
Pushed him. So I guess she pushed him.
The video came out?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see the video.
You did?
Yeah, and they boosted that whole situation. I'm
Really?
like, I thought she and the thing, when you see how tall he is and how short she is, I was even wondering, like, so what did she do? Like, and in the, they're not pressing charges on her. I guess the city dropped charges once the video came out, as they should. Now, mind you, domestic violence is not anything that anyone approves of, but the way that it came out before, it didn't make it look like she just pushed him. They made it seem like she was like
really,
yeah.
But I guess whenever the police were called, she told the police officer that this is her current boyfriend and they are currently expecting a child together. Which,
Yeah, I don't know. Girl, why?
Who is this man?
who is he?
Who is this man?
Like, who?
But I don't know. I just feel like I know Paulette's gonna be like, I see her say that all the time.
What do you mean?
About like girls and how they just be getting pregnant and just giving anybody babies. Like, I don't know. Like, I already know how I feel about that, and I don't want to get canceled. So I just want to congrats, sister. No, because like generally speaking, though, I do feel like a lot of women be giving niggas baby, like anybody babies, and I just feel like a lot of women should look at themselves a lot like higher.
Like, make it make sense. Like, even Callie, at first I was like, but why? Then I was like, okay.
Who?
I think it's one of those things where it's like
Callie,
Callie, the artist.
Oh. Yeah, you know. Oh, yeah.
She made it make sense. I was like, okay.
But even still, like, yeah, she did make it make sense. Like, they look cute together.
Callie Uchii?
No.
Yeah, I think
Okay. Sorry. The one with Don Toliver.
No,
right?
not her.
Wait.
The black
that white boy on her watch.
Callie.
Oh, yeah.
She's pregnant by like a
football player.
Kansas City
Football
player. I think he played for Kansas City.
But they look very cute together. He's very fine.
Cute.
But
made it make sense.
no, but did she? I know she was like, but did she? Because I just feel like a lot of people is just like, what happened to all these other steps?
I mean, it looks like it has a promising future.
I don't know.
What? Oh my god! Wait, Michelle. No, why would you say that?
This is just the fact. Like, sometimes it's like,
okay, I think that I don't know. I feel like people, that's where like your confidence has to come into play. If you're like a known person, I'm not saying that SKAI is like a A-list celebrity, but she's well enough known to where it's like you should be able to pick who
anybody you want.
really want to be with for the most part.
That's who she want to be with.
But
I'm not even saying it doesn't make sense optically, because if that's her type, and vice versa.
it's not about her type. It's just like a man that you now have charges.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Nationally.
Yeah.
I ain't never seen SKAI.
No
She's
way.
never been involved in anything.
Like,
Even when I heard these men will derail your life.
Yeah, when I heard the story, I was very shocked that she was the one involved. Like,
and I was more shocked that she was
Disney
pregnant.
character?
I'm just like, pregnant?
It was like double whammy.
Yeah, I was like, what? Whoa. Y'all just throwing curveballs left and right.
Is she of age? Like, I was literally Googling, like, how old is
No,
Scarlett?
she's definitely of age, but I just think, I don't know, like, I'm just like, where are these, like,
wait.
we haven't even known her to be in a relationship
Ladies.
for a long time with him.
I know we're talking about pregnancy. I just want to say something real quick. I don't know if y'all have even heard about it, but apparently, Halle, name's Halle, right?
Halle Bailey.
She's pregnant again?
Is she really?
No, she moved out of.
She moved out of what?
I had a feeling. You know what's crazy?
There's no way. I just saw them together on TikTok like yesterday.
No,
I had a feeling.
They're saying that she moved out of the house with DG. He keeps cheating.
Girl, I don't know if there's.
I don't either.
Look,
I'm not gonna
I'm
lie.
just telling y'all.
Everyone's been praying on their
Nikki,
downfall. I don't even
anyway,
understand.
I know,
But you know what's crazy?
I
had a feeling because someone told me because he recently posted his son with the braids. It was so cute. So I went to his page to see like the son. I was like, oh, it's his birthday, and I'm like, oh, he celebrated with Halle?
his son's birthday?
No, it was just DDG's birthday, and I'm just like, I started. I'm like, I didn't see Halle in a minute.
I don't know. People are preying on their downfall. I won't believe it.
I don't think people are preying on their
They
downfall.
are. Everyone wants them to break up. Or people be like, why is she with him? Like,
I'll be honest with you. I
I
think what I'm starting to realize even more is that
I'm glad it happened to you because it always happens to me. I'm glad.
What I'm starting to realize is like, you can be a celebrity
and still be dumb.
And still be going through the same shit we all going through this table.
Can you imagine like going, oh my?
No, I'm sorry. My access is different. I ain't doing
literally,
the same shit you regular commenters are doing.
No, literally. My level of dumb don't exist. I'm rich.
Literally, okay? I'm sorry.
Buy your life, because literally, I will go buy a different life. I refuse to go through the dirt. I will go buy a mansion on another island and start over.
Exactly.
What's
the point of being rich to be dumb? That makes sense.
Have y'all heard about the girl who went on an interview with shorts and she got turned away?
Yes.
How do y'all feel about that?
Okay.
What kind of interview was it?
Okay,
it was a work interview.
So pretty much she did a video and she was like, this is what I'm wearing. She had a cardigan on and a white shirt and black shorts that weren't fingertip length.
They were like blazer shorts and blazer shorts.
Yeah.
They were short. Shorts are shorts.
Yeah, they were black shorts.
Yeah,
probably,
shorts.
Yeah.
She had like a cardigan.
Kind of like,
what kind of job interview?
You know, like the cardigan.
She didn't say. But she said the interview was just like, we can reschedule, or do you just want to change and come back?
Which was real of them.
Oh, we can reschedule. And she was like, is anything wrong? Like, she pretty much tried to make it seem like the interview was wrong for asking her to change her clothes.
I don't think she was.
Why were you in shorts?
That's what
and like, honestly, we live in a new day and age. Because you walk in an interview with shorts on, okay.
But I think, Gen Z is different.
At least like they were coaching you like, hey, we will still hold this interview, but go home and come back presentable.
I think it depends on what kind of job. Okay, don't get me wrong. Okay, so I think it does. Because, okay, let me say this. For healthcare and like nursing specifically, when you go on a job interview, it's actually very okay to go in scrubs. It happens. Like, sometimes you're going.
Scrubs make sense.
Sometimes you're going in before, whatever. If you're
shorts?
going to go work at Twin Peaks, I wouldn't expect you to come in a 3-piece.
Wait, no, but okay. That's weird that you said that because interview's an interview. That's professionalism.
But I think
you can't
you're
come
not going
to Twin Peaks
in a blazer and
you're not.
You're not.
When I worked at a sports bar, I did not go dressed crazy. I went dressed nicely.
But just because you're dressed,
I went for that interview, I was definitely not.
You're a bad bitch. Like that's what you're.
But
you're
going.
Shorts?
No.
Okay.
But you're still gonna go. Like you're still gonna go in something that's because naturally
decorum.
Naturally, like usually in a blazer and slacks, you're not going to show your frame off, your body off. When you're going to jobs that are a physical appearance, you're going to try to insinuate that. But that's what I'm saying. It depends on what kind of job she was going for. Like,
if she wasn't going for it, because she said
like
change and
corporate, or it's not corporate. Like some
corporate. I don't know why she was wearing shorts.
Yeah,
I would just say, regardless of the job, I just don't think shorts are interview etiquette.
Shorts are not even appropriate for school, and kids are going in them now.
People going crop
Lululemon skirts.
Like I'm over here, like whatever. Back to what you just said. I really think it was very inappropriate that she went to an interview with shorts on and then had the audacity to say that she was confused as to why the interview was telling her to go home and change. The fact that she was even sparing you was even crazy, because if that was me interviewing you, I would have sat down and that would have been it. I wouldn't even coach you. That person cares about your future, and they're trying to tell you this is not appropriate in this line of work.
Yeah.
It's not wearing shorts at any interview is not appropriate unless you want to be a lifeguard.
Everyone thinks they have a discrimination case. Everyone thinks they have some type of discrimination case. Like,
it's Gen Z. Everyone don't want to work.
Everyone wants to come to the internet and be like, "Oh, they discriminated against me," but it's like, no, like you're trying to like make fetch, and that's not the case. Yeah. Like,
I think what's the rule of thumb to either? I think it's dress a step above from what the job normally requires. So like even if it's like business casual, you dress like business professional to the interview. Like you step it up a little bit. Like
I just was told like any interview you go on business casual or business, like it's just you dress nice because you're trying to make a great impression.
It's crazy. Growing up, I remember people used to wear suits. To McDonald's interviews.
No,
like you wasn't
wearing
going
suits anymore.
I mean,
no one wears suits anymore.
All the jobs be virtual. All the interviews be virtual.
The world
is melting.
The world is melting. It's hot. Okay, that's the problem.
I went on an
I almost feel her for shorts. I'm not gonna lie, it's hot outside.
I went on an interview and like I was so cute. Like I was so happy I came. And then the person interviewing me had a t-shirt on. And I was just like,
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, I was a red flag. Cause I just feel like, I'm sorry.
T-shirt is crazy.
You're managing, you're like upper level. This is not appropriate. You're hosting interviews.
But I don't want to see cotton.
I don't want to see Gildan.
Gildan is
I need
wild.
to see a button down blouse or something.
There are like very relaxed environments. I think that, I think that to say like that your attire equates to what you can do in the workplace is kind of like mundane. But
that's not what we're saying.
That's not what I'm saying.
There's a certain level of seriousness that you need to have when it comes to interview. You have to take it seriously. Like you can't roll up out of bed and think you can go to an interview in sweats or pajamas.
No,
or
I get that, but like the person interviewing her, what if they have a very relaxed environment and like that's just how their office is run? Like they don't have to come in business,
right? But like the thing is, because I used to work in management, and if you're doing interviews, you do not come looking laid down. Like you have to be taken serious. They have to take you serious. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't take her serious. I was like, you're hosting interviews saying you have a t-shirt on? Like, dang, that's crazy. Is this serious to you? I understand you work virtual, but at the end of the day, like it's still I think people are getting remote work kind of confused. Yeah, it can be a relaxed environment once you're in, but like the preliminary phases, there needs to be some type of professionalism going on. That is why people are fighting to get out of remote. They don't like it no more because we're low key coming to work in PJs on Zoom meetings thinking that that's professional.
So just
because you work at home don't mean
your camera on.
Don't mean you have your blanket on your lap. Are you okay?
Huh?
But I know people like that be in like
Crystal don't think nothing wrong with her blanket.
Be in Zoom meetings with blanket on your lap and they can see it.
Oh no, camera off, baby.
Oh,
that's what I thought you meant.
No,
I was like, huh?
I've been in meetings where I'm just like, wow.
Oh yeah, no.
Do not take your job serious.
No.
Oh my God.
My brother said it was an interview. It was actually a meeting, but it was like when people were like international, like the CEO was on the meeting. And you see a girl, she's getting her braids done.
You're lying.
Braids
and
done,
her
bro.
camera
her
is on.
camera was on.
No.
But I don't think she knew her camera was on. Someone asked her, had to tell her, like, do you know your camera's on?
That'd be the
And then
worst.
literally you see her like her camera go off real quick.
No, there was one time
I
was asked to turn my camera on, and I had like just one roller in my head. I just take it. Huh? What?
I'm just saying, why would her camera be on at all? You're at a braid up.
Oh no, facts.
But some people have it set to when they join a meeting.
It automatically
on.
goes
I keep mine
turn that shit off, and my shit is muted until I turn it on.
I turn it on.
Yeah, fix those settings, y'all. Don't get caught slipping.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, and like I'll be honest. I know this is a lot, but like when I have some meetings, like for example, if we're having like meetings with like salespeople, I put makeup on.
Yeah.
I will not be in the makeup. Just looking.
Oh wow.
You know, I have to have makeup. Just because, only
I'm
reason
scared of you too, because shit, baby, like me, I'm on bareface everywhere.
I don't know. In some workspaces, you just realize, like, as being like the only black person, like, I just have to. I myself have to go kind of harder. Like, it's just unfortunate.
I don't know. I feel like as long as your hair is brushed, your edges are cool. Yeah, put a little lip gloss on. Make sure you literally wash your face in the morning. Sunscreen.
Out, you good.
You'll be good. Yeah.
But then too, also like, I think it's cool. Like, I guess because working in a remote environment, it kind of can get a little boring. So I won't even, like, there's some days where I will just get ready and put makeup on or something. Just because you just want to feel like you're doing something. Sometimes, like,
before work?
Yeah.
At home? From home?
Yeah, like, sometimes you just feel like, sometimes getting up, showering, and getting up, could be like, dang, like, I don't feel ready to work. Like, maybe throw something like, okay, or do your hair. You're like, okay, now I feel like I'm ready to work.
The most I do is, like, before I just take a shower.
Remote life's just difficult.
Do my hair and my edges, and that's it. Like, I'm not, makeup is not my face for work. To sit behind a desk.
Yeah, but I mean, because I don't know, because I know some jobs are getting very stickler with like cameras on and stuff. Like it's weird. I don't understand why that's even like a requirement. Okay, guys, so we're gonna go ahead and get into the topic. Today is talking about settling into our lives, and so I just want to talk about, what does settling look like to y'all?
Like settling in or settling for less?
Just anything. It can be like with relationships. It can be with work. It could be with how much you choose to make. It could be where you're going in life. Like, what does that look like to you?
I think, and I was even struggling with this when I saw this, like something we were going to talk about, because to me, I feel like there is a difference between like, because think of settling in the way that the world looks at settling and how like day to day what actually settling is. So I feel like settling in society, we look at it as this negative thing, right? But I feel like in actuality, it's just like knowing what you want, but also knowing like what's available and what's realistic for you at that moment. You know what I mean? Kind of like you could have a lawsuit and be like, okay, I want 3 million, but realistically, I expect 2 million, and maybe you settle for 1 million, but 1 million is still good for you. It doesn't mean that you just like you settle for something you didn't want. You just settle for something that was well within your range.
I'm thinking of it like, that's why I was like, I'm thinking of it like when you're actually going to feel settled in life. Like, when do you feel like you're going to be comfortable, and when do you feel like you're going to be okay, and like, okay, like now I feel like I've made it to where I needed to be. Like, that's why I'm thinking.
Okay.
Settled.
Okay. So like settling down.
Okay.
I'm not thinking about settling down. I think she's just
like comfortability. Like, when do you feel like you're actually going to get to a comfortable?
Content.
For me, yeah, because for me, settling is like, okay, when I've made X amount of money, or when I maybe have bought a house, or when I've maybe bought a car, maybe I've had a baby. Like, that's like, those things are like accomplishments towards like settling.
And I think
feeling settled.
And I think in regards to like Crystal's definition of settling, I think it's kind of hard in today's society to feel settled, because I feel like you're always kind of striving for that next best thing. Okay, you have your first child. Okay,
And it's like, now what?
Now, okay, you had a girl. Now you want a boy. You made 6 figures. Now you want to make 7. You
have one house. Now you want another.
Now you had one house that was 3 bedrooms. Okay, now you want a house that's 4 or 5 bedrooms. So I feel like there's always that constant drive to be like, to get that next best thing, which is kind of unfortunate, because it's like sometimes it's so hard to even be happy in the moment of what you actually have, because now once you've achieved it, you're looking for that next best thing.
In that case, I just feel like then you'll never settle. If you're always looking for the next thing or something to do, you're just, to me, that's not a settled person. That's someone that's like, okay.
But were we ever taught to settle?
That's what's like, I feel like it's really like a black person, and more specifically like a Nigerian black woman, or even the men too. They're always like,
on the go.
It's a thing where I've seen on the internet how it's like black women are always like, they get another degree out of boredom. And that shit's really true. It's true. Really true. And it's just like, because that's how I got my last degree. I was bored.
Or you run into a crossroad. Okay, I'm just going to go back to school. And
literally.
It's like, no.
Like that, like, yeah.
Figure it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's so funny that you said that, because I was going to say like kind of striving for perfectionism. I feel like with, like, I could speak as a black Nigerian woman. Like, I feel like when it comes to, for example, like dating, we're always looking for, like, we're always trying to find that perfect person, and men too. And like, to me, that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
You know? And if you keep trying to strive for perfection, you're never going to find someone to settle down with. Like, you're always going to find like an issue that is troubling you, and then you leave that person. And the cycle is just starting over and continuing, you know?
No, which is interesting, because I recently talked to somebody, and he had just got out of like a heavy relationship or whatever. And he was telling me about how, like, I guess in our definition, it would be settling, but he just said that like he ended up being with somebody who checked every single box. And he was like, but what people don't realize is being with somebody who checks every single box is like actually very expensive, because there's something that you're sacrificing. So he was like, they checked every big box, and the boxes were so big that he forgot to check the little ones. He was just, so something even so little that you would think day to day that someone would automatically give to you. He realized that this person did not even offer them. He was like, so he realized that moving forward, like, he's like, I don't want someone who checks every single boxes. He was like, it's the little stuff. It's the, you know, how is this person around me? Like, is this person like affectionate? Is this person compassionate? It goes, all those small things that you overlook when somebody has, oh, this person has a degree, makes this much amount of money, has this, did this. He was like, it was all these big things that just mattered to him, that he was like, no, actually, I realized like these things do not matter. And someone may think, oh, I said it, or I'm downgrading all the other stuff. He was like, but it's not even that. I just realized like all that in the grand scheme of things is just not really important to me.
Right.
And I think a lot of times that a lot of people figure that out without having to go through it. Like maybe we date and we realize like, it's not that I'm settling because it's not like I'm settling for less. I'm just realizing that I don't need all that.
You don't need all that. And I think honestly too, like with the presence of like social media, it kind of confuses people's ideas and what they want for a particular relationship that they're looking for. I feel like sometimes like we have unrealistic expectations, or just like, I'm not gonna lie, like even like the concept of family, I feel like some people, their expectations is unrealistic. And so I think in that scope, I kind of agree with what your friend had said, that like sometimes it's the big things don't really matter. It's the little small things that I feel like we can overlook at times that kind of doesn't point in the right direction.
Because you be talking to somebody for so long, and all of a sudden you're just like, wait, do you believe in God?
Oh my God.
Like, it's so crazy. I was dating somebody, and all of a sudden it was like, he was saying something, I was like, wait, do you believe in God? And I realized like it sounds so bad, y'all. This whole time, like,
you didn't know that he was it.
It's like he believed in God, but he wasn't a believer. And I didn't realize, or I know how important that is for me, but when you're checking every single box, you think, okay, who's not a Christian in this society?
Right.
And you actually talk to somebody who's just like challenging all your beliefs, and it's just like, yeah, you know, I love to be challenged, but I don't want to be challenged in my relationship. You know, I don't want to be an obstacle like in my walk with Christ. Like, I just don't want that in a partner. You know what I mean? It's just like, let me not have to prioritize that. But if I'm prioritizing that, I have to deprioritize something else.
Right.
And that means there's something I'm prioritizing over somebody's faith or who I'm looking for who has a strong walk in God. So it's like little things like that where it's just like everything cannot be a priority. Like you can have a big dick, 6 figures, tall, beard, dark skin, all that stuff, and then you be like, oh, and you believe in God. Like sometimes you gotta choose 2 things that you look for.
But let me ask y'all. Okay, so who do you
Wait, Paulette.
not big dick over God? No, ma'am.
No, I meant like no, because like I was going in the order, and then she said God, so God and big dick. Sorry. Sorry.
Deal breakers.
Sorry.
So let me ask y'all. So who do you feel like compromises more in life, men or women?
Women.
Clearly.
What?
You think so?
I feel like I'm not going because
Absolutely.
having children is a compromise.
Yeah.
And I feel like women have children, men don't.
Yeah.
Men barely raise
Like
them.
that was.
Let's not do that.
That's a rhetorical question.
Let's be honest, men,
I don't think so.
men are there. Like I think men are disciplinarians, but how we talked about earlier about the values also that instilled in children, I feel like that low key I can tell the way a man treats a woman or the way a man navigates life, how his mom raised him.
Yeah.
I'm never thinking like, how'd your dad raise you?
But my question is, how is having a child a compromise if you want children?
No, like
you're compromising something.
You're compromising to have kids.
First, your body. Your body will never be the same.
Yeah,
ever. And your bladder will never.
No, and I get that, but
you
I'm
will never
saying,
laugh the same without feeling like you gotta piss.
So whenever I think about
your time will never be yours.
So
again.
I think about when I think about compromising to me is you are making the decision to go after something that you never initially wanted, but you're doing that for the sake of maybe something else or somebody else.
That's a sacrifice, not a compromise.
It's not compromising.
See, I think that is compromising to me. So for me, it's like, I don't really look at having children as a compromise, especially if you've already aspired to be a mother.
So you're not compromising your health?
I mean, no. I think that
you are.
I think you're putting. I don't think it's a compromise. I think you're putting that at risk. But that's
a compromise.
But you know,
maybe
it's
you're
what
sacrificing your health.
It's like that's what comes. That's what comes with
logging out.
That's what the compromise. A compromise is entering into a situation, knowing the risk, and still agreeing to do it. That's That's like if 2 people are at a disagreement and say, "Okay, we compromise. We both came to an agreement. We know we're moving forward." I'm not saying that like you did it against your will. Like women don't like kids. No, I'm saying is like that is a compromise that guys don't have to really make. Like bringing a child into the world is probably the most dangerous thing that a woman can do. You know what I mean? And like every time a woman brings a child into his life, like, yeah, you're compromising your body. I had someone tell me like, you don't have kids right now, but honestly cherish it because your body will literally never be the same. And the fact that I was so scared, I was like, how come no one tells me?
No one talks about that part.
Like your body will never be the same.
No one talks about like things like
I feel like I don't know.
peeing on yourself when you laugh.
Girl.
See, and that's why when we bring up like topics like people being pregnant, like even these young girls, I'm just like, is nobody else scared? Like, because for me, I am scared, and it's not even because like I'm like, bro, the amount of changes that I know my body is going to go through, and I know that like my life is not only for me, it's for another human being that I'm responsible for, and for me, that scares the living shit out of me. So I don't feel like I'm just gonna have a baby for a man that I met a couple of months ago. Like I'm just like it's scary to me. Like I need to know you through and through before I decide to make a life-threatening. Not that the baby's a threat, but like a life-changing decision. I need to know that you're going to be here for me through and through no matter what. Because if not, we can just keep this.
And maybe that's why we should have just done it younger when we weren't as wise.
Okay, so that's okay. So
and postpartum.
Maybe that's the
hemorrhaging.
The thing is, I'll be honest with you. Sometimes that's why it's better to do certain things when you are younger. Because like I said, like you don't really have like that fear. You don't have that wisdom. Yeah. So it's like you're not worried about that type of stuff. Like in that moment, whenever you're younger, you're not now. Okay, yeah.
Because I feel like when I was in my 20s, I wasn't looking at pregnancy like how I am. Like,
yeah,
like how
because I was looking for pregnancy.
But that's the thing. So now we're like, we're not just gonna get pregnant by anyone in our 30s because you could have done that. I'm just saying because you could have done that in your 20s. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I do think that sometimes like we now have so much wisdom that we now have like this fear factor to things that have been going on for hundreds of years. You know, like it's not like having a baby is something that just started.
Right.
I mean, true, but I think with knowledge comes a lot of responsibility. Because I was even watching this video of this lady, and she pretty much said, she's a better mom now to her kids now than she was. And she was like, I'll say straight up, I was a bad mom. Like she had a kid young, like she didn't really know what motherhood was about. Like, and when you're young, it's like you really don't think, okay, like my mom is gonna be with my kids when I go out. You're still like balancing, navigating like growing up and experiencing your youth and still raising a child. And she was like, the decisions I made as a mom over my first, I would never make with my younger kids now. And she's kind of has that, not, I would say shame, because she knows that her oldest experience had a different childhood than her current youth. And I feel like it's kind of the same thing with us. Like, if we were to have kids now, we would definitely be different moms than we were
absolutely.
in our 20s. But I don't regret not having kids younger because we're kind of...
No, I don't.
No, I would never regret
I don't regret it. Okay.
No.
Actually, recently, what I did say to myself was like, dang, maybe I should have had kids younger, because I took my cousins to the trampoline park.
Mm-hmm. You was tired, bitch.
I mean, I was jumping. She wanted, my little cousin's 4. One of my cousins is 4. She wanted me to get into this jungle gym. I couldn't even get through the slide. Like, it was a lot. And so, and I was recently talking to one of my coworkers, and she was telling me, she was like, she broke her wrist. And I was like, what? Like, why were you even out there skating? She was like, no. She was like, my kids are young. She was like, I need to be doing these activities with them. And I was like, dang, like, I actually feel you. But maybe I should have been like, I don't know. Like, what am I going to do?
See,
I mean, you can break your wrist as a young mom too.
No, but it's not about breaking your
like,
wrist.
You know what I mean?
I was like, about jumping.
All these can happen at any
That's more about
age.
taking
Are you going to be like,
I don't feel like that's for me, that wasn't a valid reason for me to have kids in my 20s. Like, I'm
not saying it's a valid
what
reason.
I will say is,
but hold on, I'm just saying that the only thing for me, the only benefit that I would have saw personally out of having a kid young was like the innocence and like the not like me not being scared to do it.
Yeah. Right.
I don't think I would have been scared. I feel like now that I'm older and wiser,
I
that's why I'm
agree.
so much more scared, because I'm like, bro, like, this is a big decision. In my 20s, I probably would have been like, all right, whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if it happens, like, you know, it's the first time, like, whatever, like, you know, I see other people doing it, like, fine. But I just feel like now that I'm a lot more mature, like, even in my 20s, if I would have had a child without being pregnant, without being married, I don't feel like it would have been a big deal to me. Now I understand the importance of like, okay, actually needing somebody to be there for you through and through, because I understand like things like postpartum exist. I understand like I said, my body's not physically going to be the same, so I am going to physically need help through and throughout. So it's just like, I don't know. I feel like that would have been the only benefit of like having children young, just the innocence of like your head, like, okay, like, cool. Now I'm scared shitless. Like, I'm like, bro, like, I don't know.
I didn't want kids young. I wanted to probably be a later parent. I just didn't think my 20s should go to kids and raising a family. I'm not gonna lie, those are your years of growth, and I just don't think like, shout out to people that did it. Y'all are great at what you're doing, and you're raising great kids. But me personally, I don't regret, like, I'm not gonna, I'm in my 30s now, and like, I don't think like I've missed out on life not having kids in my 20s, or even now not having a kid. So that brings my next topic. There are some people, like, you know, they're in their 30s or maybe in their 40s or 50s, and then like, they may not have gotten married yet. They may not have gotten the career that they wanted. They may not even have a kid. Does that mean now they need to start compromising different areas and aspects of their lives? Or do they just need to continue going? You know what I mean?
So let me say this. I think that if it's something that you want and it's something that you're striving for and you haven't achieved it, I don't want to say you have to compromise, but I do think that you might need to reevaluate why you haven't gotten to that point in your life. Because I think that what people like, I think that sometimes like I said, we can get to the point where we're like in our older ages, and since we're so wise, there's just certain things that you're just not going to tolerate. Like, whenever it comes to a partner, you're not going to tolerate some of the things you would tolerate it in your 20s, now in your 30s.
Right.
So naturally now, I think that this also, as the older you get, your pool is smaller in a lot of things. Maybe not career-wise. Career is like, that's different. But like more so like whenever it comes to relationship, things like that. So I do think it's important to like maybe just reevaluate, like, okay, well, are my what I want, is it realistic? Like, is my list realistic? Do I still, if I want to get married and I'm 49 and I've never been married, am I still gonna hold out for a 6'4" man? You know, like, it's
Right.
it's certain things, like, you know, it's certain things like that. That's why I feel like there needs to be some reevaluation. Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I feel like naturally maybe it happens.
Yeah.
Because it's like you realize certain things, like kind of like Nikki said, certain things just as big of a deal. Like you can't compromise because it's like if everything you want is in a 5'10" man.
Yeah, it's just
5'10"
men come dime a dozen.
Like maybe 5'11" to 6'4". And then if he's 5'10", then he has to be this is that and other type shit. You know what I mean?
Be a little bit more open.
There should be like
I feel like we just need to cut height out.
but you know what's crazy? I'm not even a height queen. I'm really not.
I'm not either, but
I'm not a height queen. Like I really don't care about.
I don't really care about height either, but like
I'm not gonna go for someone 5 foot.
I won't be with someone like 5'4", 5'5". That don't make sense.
Yeah,
like, nah.
I mean, that's like disability range. No shade. But
5'4" is kind of crazy.
Michelle, you cannot say that stuff like that.
We're tall, guys. Like I feel like
I think we forget. Like we're like starting 5'9" and how? Yeah,
I'm 5'.
You're the shortest.
7 or 5'6" or 5'7".
I'm like 5'7" is crazy. I was gonna give you 5'6", but the shortest of us is 5'6". So just and it goes up from there. So I think that any of us talking to someone who's 5 foot is like that's us being very open.
No,
which is not a bad thing, but
so then like
respectfully.
Well, I was gonna say like so. What is y'all's age where you feel like now you have to start making those?
What make it make sense answers?
Yeah,
decisions. Make sense decisions now. Yeah, for sure.
No.
Yeah. Because if you think about it, I'm like, bro, imagine how like you're 20 or you're 21. I'm not gonna say it shaped things, but like your 30s, your early 30s is gonna shape how it's gonna be for the rest of your life. So it's like you really gotta start being smart about certain things, like and how you act in certain environments. Because it's just like, bruh, this ain't the time to play. This could have what I do today can affect my future kids or something. So it's
I
like,
agree. I agree wholeheartedly with Crystal. Like even when meeting people, like I know some people are like, oh no, just be open. No, there's some underlining things I won't ignore, and I'm gonna just leave it there. Like there's some things I'm just like, y'all. I have to think about it. Like, what if something happens? Does this person have the heart and mind to even, no. And if I don't see it, it doesn't mean you don't have it. Cause like, you know what I'm saying? But I would say if y'all were like dating right now, right? And y'all meet someone and like, they tell y'all they've been single for like 10 years. What's like, how do y'all feel about that?
Red flag.
So bad. I don't like them because it's a lot of them. They try to give on Love Island like, oh yeah, he's never been in a relationship. I'm not being with men who ain't never been in a relationship because like I'm not gonna coach you through nothing. I'm sorry. Like,
I'm not about to be your first girlfriend.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
I'm not coaching you through the basic necessity of life. I'm not coaching you into why you should consider me as your significant other. I'm not doing that. When I used to be by myself. Okay, but you're somebody else.
Facts.
Fuck out of here.
Every little thing is this my first relationship. I'm just figuring this out.
I don't care. Goodbye. Like no.
Okay, so that's different. So I think that if they have that mentality, okay, yeah, I wouldn't want to be with anyone like that. But now if they have the mentality of like, hey, I haven't had a relationship because I never seen anyone like as serious to get to that point.
And honestly, I'm not saying you're a bad person. You're just not the person for me.
Yeah, because like
I don't know. So
somebody else to practice with.
So y'all would rather be with someone that goes from relationship to relationship than someone who hasn't.
That's not what I'm saying.
No, but that's what my question is like, would you rather be with someone who has a new relationship every year, or would you rather be with someone
every year?
But I'd rather be with somebody who's at least been in a relationship or two, because again, you have experience in considering others. I don't want to have to coach you on like the basic things. Again, considering me as another person. And your excuse is, oh, I've never been with anybody, so I don't know.
And then there's a guy you waited 10 years and now with me now I'm the relationship.
Now serious foot is stepping. That's crazy.
I don't trust you. And then after you talk to me, you're gonna tell everybody I didn't even want a relationship.
Because you think you got in relationships, you really learn yourself in every relationship that you go through. So you ain't never just like I feel like there's just a lack of like self-awareness a little bit.
I'll be real with you, like a lot of these guys now, they have been single for 10 plus years. They've just been having situations with people. So they haven't really been in relationships. So would you count those situations with people as relationships?
If you had 10 years of situationships, you're also in a relationship.
Yeah, facts.
You're also not eligible.
What I'm saying is like, I'm
but
just trying to be realistic.
Like, a situationship is still a relationship. I'm talking about the people who ain't never dated nobody.
No, but I'm just saying like, but when you think about the climate we're in right now, a lot like,
bro, situationship is not a real thing. They're in a relationship. Yeah. They're in a relationship.
Right.
They're in a relationship.
But what I'm saying, a lot of these men and women too, like they've been in things, but like.
Just a lot of men be in things they don't want to call a relationship, but it is one. So you have experience in a relationship because you're literally sleeping and the girl damn near lives with you. So cut it out.
Near.
Like, so yes, you are in you've had a relationship before.
She has the code to your safe. That's
your bitch. That's your woman. Like, girl got the keys to your house. That is your girl.
Bitch, you know what I mean?
The keys to your safe is see niggas like that rob them.
Yeah, no, literally,
just rob them. Hey, you know what's crazy? Like,
Take them to the
I'm
cleaners.
not trying to be a negative influence, but I really
Yes,
don't feel like men are getting robbed enough because the level of just like fear is lacking. You know what I mean? For a guy to hit you up and just be like, "Let's link," where
My
at
house.
your place. You don't even know my last name. If you were gonna file a police report, you wouldn't even know what to put on there.
I'm telling
An
you.
Instagram name.
I'm telling you.
But like that's a red flag in itself too, because like I like when I'm on TikTok, I go through like the crime stories and like a lot of like, no, y'all, it's not funny. People really need to stop going over to people's houses because a lot of these girls will go to these men's house and they butcher them. Like, you just don't know. A man that's willing to let you come to their house, he doesn't know nothing about you. That's a big red flag.
In code to the safe.
You know?
Hello.
I mean, yeah.
But, okay, so let me ask y'all, what is so y'all know like typically men will say that they're not ready to like, you know, marriage or they're not ready for like a serious relationship because
they're jokes.
Like, because
What a goof.
because they're not like or do you
Serious.
feel like
What did she say?
men that typically are not ready for marriage or like serious anything, do you feel like that has anything to do with like where they are financially? From your experience.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No. There are some men that just don't want to be committed to one person, and that's okay.
I think
there's people for them.
I think it's one of those things where I do think that men equate where they're at financially a lot with like
Settling
just
down.
in general, like where their mental health is, if they're ready for something serious. Like I definitely think that men like, because the thing is like, think about it, men have always kind of been taught for the most part, like, you know, you're supposed to meet a certain level like in your 30s or in your late 20s and go into it in your 30s. So sometimes if they haven't met that level yet, then they can't even put any focus into a relationship or into something serious, especially into marriage, because they know at the end of the day, like, let's be honest, like if shit goes wrong in a marriage, you're looking to your husband.
Yeah.
So if your husband cannot financially support you,
He's not going to be serious
he's not,
with you.
yeah, he's not going to be comfortable in that situation. And so it's like, it's a slippery slope for me. It's like, I would love to push someone to be ready for marriage, but financially, you're right. Like if you can't afford children.
Okay, do y'all feel that way as women though? Like,
See,
But my thing is, but you have to think about this. Like, life is lifing. When will you ever
Be
When
serious.
will you ever become financially right? At the end of the day, like you just have to like go. Like our parents got married and they did all that and they just went with life. Like at the end of the day, your empire. You need to build your legacy. Like,
do y'all feel like that way as women? Because there's been certain conversations that I have in my head that I'm like, okay, I will not bring a kid into this world until XYZ happens in my life. Like, is it not the same?
Yes, exactly. It is the exact
I
same.
do think, and that's what I was gonna say. I do think that I don't know if it's like a man thing or like, but I do think it's a type of person. I think there are like quote unquote goal getters, where there's people who they live their life according to like
Goals.
a checklist of things they need to accomplish, and they want to accomplish them in a certain order, like school, job, promotion, salary. Then comes the marriage, then comes the kids. It's like everything is like very linear in the way that life happens, and there's some people who don't live their life according to those standards. I don't know if one is better than the other, because there are some people who, like, again, they meet as a guy, you meet a girl, y'all get married, not because y'all are so in love, but just because it's what's next. Like, I know, actually, I'm not gonna say that, but it's just because that's what's next, right?
Yeah, on
And there's some
your
people who,
list.
it's like, they fall in love, they're not where they need to be at, but who's
They're
gonna fall in love and let somebody they're in love with go? It's like they
Yeah.
fall in love, they build together, and then they build the empire together. So I feel like there's definitely two different types of people. I don't think that one's worse than the other. I just really feel like it's just the way that your brain's wired.
No, I definitely agree. And I think it's one of those things where, like, as women, we actually do have those exact same decision making, like, opportunities, but it might not just be financial for us. Like, for me, like, it could be like with the man. Like, I'm not going to have a child with just any type of man, because we could have all had children if that was the case.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think it's the exact same thing. We just have different qualities or different things that we're not going to compromise on whenever it comes to certain aspects in our life, like marriage, having children,
Yeah.
those type of
Like, have you ever had a guy where, this is gonna sound so bad, like, you'll date him, but it's like, oh, I can't have kids with him.
Exactly.
Or I can date you, but I can't get married. I can't raise children. I can't live with you. Like, you know,
Absolutely.
it's just like different tiers, and it sounds so bad. Where it's just like,
And
I
it's
mean,
actually scary.
No,
when you
I mean,
realize
it's,
that.
but I feel like that's good discernment to have, because it's like, a nigga can be fun to date, but can you raise my kids? It's two different things. And I feel like that's another, like, that's a level, a layer level that, like, everybody needs to have, because it's like, I am not, you're not just dating for yours. And that's what I think comes with like being older and more mature is like, I'm not just dating for myself. I'm dating for my future kids at this point. 'Cause it's like, I need to know like.
You can be a dad, but can you be a father?
Exactly. Exactly.
Are you a father? And how are you a father to them kids?
Yeah. Thank you.
Present?
Yeah, because like honestly, like that, ooh, that's a word. That's a word because there are like a lot of men like, they check off everything, but you know, like in a family,
like how are you?
It would really suck
like,
because you would be the only present parent.
Or not even that. It's just like, how are you with your family?
Yeah.
Like, do you talk to your parents? Like, do you talk to your relatives? Like, are you close to your family? Because to me, it's like, I feel like if I talk to somebody and they're just like, oh, me and my mom, we're not getting along. What? Why?
Yeah, or a lot of
not?
men don't understand too, like, especially if they have children, how you are treating your children says a lot what you're going to do with me when we have kids. Like, you're not going to change the game up. Like, it's going to be the same thing.
It's like
and
a
I feel
trailer.
like, you know, I think a lot of women will get, like, for example, like, a lot of women will get with these men that, like, they, like, yes, they provide for their kids, right? But y'all, raising kids is more than finance, like, financial, right? Like, you need to be there for them. Like, they're going to go through things. They need, like, a father. And a lot of these men, they're not present in that aspect. And then women will see them like, oh, well, with me, like, things will change. No. That's his character. That's how he will be with kids. That's how he wants his family dynamic. He doesn't want to be present. And not saying, like, that's a terrible person, but to me, I don't, you know, do what you want to do. Dynamics work for people, it works. There are some people that works for them. But to me, I just feel like, I'm speaking for myself, that wouldn't work for me. Because I know, like, it takes two people to raise a family, not one person, the mom.
And the reason why I feel like
You know?
that's a sign of a terrible person, because I'm not going to lie, I feel like Rashida and Kirk, y'all definitely be getting passes that y'all don't deserve.
Yeah.
Because y'all be on live television saying that Kirk had a side baby and y'all only provide for that baby financially and y'all aren't there in person.
It's
and y'all live in the
crazy.
same city. To me, it's crazy. I'm just like, how the hell do you have a platform? Like, you are a deadbeat.
Yeah.
Giving money every month does not make you a present father.
No, it doesn't.
Choosing not to be in your child's life is crazy. And honestly, I think her name is Jasmine. You're so crazy for having a child with a married man. So it's like, it's hard for me to be that sympathetic. But like, it's still crazy for you to have a seed on this earth and choose not to be in that child's life. It's crazy to me. Like, you're letting a child grow up without a father.
Yeah.
Wow.
And like, I think a lot of men think, well, I'm providing, but it's like, no, it's more than providing for that kid. Like, gosh, growing up, I could imagine, like, I am blessed to have both my parents in my life. You know what I mean? I could imagine like dad walking out the door, how life would it have been? You know what I mean? Or if my dad lived somewhere else and all he was sending was money, that's not a relationship. I look at him as just, he provides. That's it. He's not a father.
He rarely does that.
Yeah,
You
and
know?
that's your first example of like what it is to be a man and what it is, what a man is supposed to be like.
Yeah,
So it really
and like men don't understand, especially if you have daughters. That shapes their idea and how they view men. Like, and it, you know, I don't see that ending positively. So I don't know. That's just my take on stuff like that. But
Yeah. Okay, so let me ask y'all, what do y'all feel like is gonna like, or when do you feel like you're gonna get to a point where it's like, okay, I'm ready to move on to the next stage, whether it's, you know, job, career, whether it's family, whether it's marriage, like when do you feel like you're gonna like get to that point, or what is that point? You feel like, okay.
I'm already at that point.
I'm there.
I think I'm already at that point career wise. I'm already at that point relationship wise. Definitely. But I've been feeling like that for over a year, if not two. I think that whenever it came to my career, I just started to realize like I can't do this forever, you know, like so I am always looking like to see what's next. Like if I want to make a complete career change, I want to advance my education, whatever the case might be. And then whenever it came to a relationship, it's just, I think it more so changed for me whenever I realized there's actually a person out there that I could be with forever. Right. You know, like for me, like I didn't see that before. Like I didn't see someone that I was like, oh, I could actually be with you like for long term. But when you kind of get that glimpse of that, then you're kind of like, oh, okay, well,
I'm okay with taking
there's
this
hope.
next leap.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. No, I think that I recently had that what is that? Awakening. Yeah. Especially with just like career and stuff. Like I don't think I've ever looked into like anything and just been like, damn, like, okay, I'm ready for the future. But I was kind of writing out, I already started on like my 2025 goals, and I just got to thinking, and I'm like, damn, like actually, I could do this.
Yeah.
Like, I could actually do this. This is crazy. And like, to even just write, like, put pen to paper on that, I was just like, damn, like, this is actually very different.
It's
like,
possible.
Yeah, it's very possible. And it's very like, okay, you know what, I'm okay. But I definitely feel like, to answer my own question, like, for me, it was definitely like trying to figure out like where to go career-wise, I think. I think like, you know, even having that, an idea now, it's kind of just like, okay, you know what? I could take this idea to the future.
Right. I'll be honest, like, okay, this is not going to sound cliche, but it's just my story. And so, I don't know. I feel like I've always had like I always knew like, okay, I'm going to get married and I'm going to be a mom. Don't know how many kids, but I'm going to be a mom. Okay. And then like somewhere on that road, it got blurred. I started realizing like, dang, I don't know if I want this because this type of life comes with a lot. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of sacrifices. There'll be a lot of tests. It'll be a trying period of my life that's forever. And then finally, when I started like, you know, entering like the dating space again, meeting different people, I finally like became like open to like, okay, you know what? Like, I want to be in a relationship and I want to get married. Like, that, like,
yeah, to that's what I'm saying, to come back to that circle part again, because like I'm not gonna lie, I lost hope for a long time. Like I was definitely, and it wasn't even like losing hope. I was just okay with not getting married because I'm just like, bro, like I just don't feel like being in this space where I gotta live with somebody for the rest of my life. Girl, I'm cool on it. But I think just going back to like the idea of like, okay, I'm okay with this. Like I'm okay with the option of being married, having a partner, raising kids together. Like I'm okay with that. Yeah,
but it wasn't
faith has been restored.
I was at Michelle's brother's wedding. You know, y'all, I go up all the time in weddings to catch that bouquet. Okay? Like, this is serious. Like, I want y'all to take me serious in this moment. I go up so many times to catch the bouquet, and the bouquet is always missing me by a long shot. Like, it ain't close. It never be landing here. No, by a long shot. I'm tall, 5'10". Y'all, I kid you not. Sorry, I may get even emotional because like this is crazy because I'm back in this moment again, and like that's why I knew like God is real. Like that's why I knew God was like, it's time. I literally, oh my God, the bride threw the bouquet.
You got it.
And I literally put my hand up in the air like that, and it landed in my hands, y'all. I'm not playing with y'all. Remember I told y'all the bouquet always misses me by a long shot. It literally said, shoot.
Like it was meant for you.
And I was like, that's why I know. I'm like, you know what, Paulette? Yeah, God just told you, girl.
Yeah.
Your door to that has opened. Yeah. Now you got to start like, now your lens needs to be really clear. Now, like, you need to start weeding out people that don't need to be around. Yep. You need to actually start, like, for example, like, not saying I don't take people serious. I think, like, because I've worked through so much, like, traumas and still working. Sometimes it's hard to see people for
what it is.
You know,
it's like I'm not vanilla, bro. I'm not green.
Yeah, and I hate it.
I feel like you can be like, okay, you know what, just be this ultimate lover girl. But at the end of the day, a nigga gonna be a nigga. Right. That's how I see it. Right. Like I've never been like just super green, and it's just like
cause you know I like to say I'm a real ass nigga. Like I have sight. I've been blessed to know. Like I see things. Everyone at this table know I've seen things, and I be right about stuff. And like when I see something in someone, like I immediately just get like turned on and stuff like that. But I've been really trying to focus on like, okay, you know what? Let me stay present. Let me not let this bad situation now shape this entire person. Like there are actually good people out here. Give people chances. But y'all, just to say, 2025, girl. Just telling y'all, be ready.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, but that's real though. That's real though, because certain things will click in your life. You be like, damn, like it's possible. That's what I'm saying. For me to even put pen to paper, be like, whoa, like. This shit is possible. Sometimes you have that little clicking moment, like, damn, like something that I never thought would ever happen for me is like it's attainable. Yeah, like, it's like you know, so
like you know, and I can put that with work, like career and everything. Like, there's just been so many eye-opening moments just going on in my life. I realize I'm like, dang, like I'm in the right place where I need to be. Like God has really. That's what it is. Like the past like 4 or 5 years, God has really been like preparing me. Now He's like placed me, and I feel like now I'm like at the final test, like, okay, let me see what you about to do before I really give you what I've been waiting to give you, that you deserve and earn, that I know that you're deserving of. Like, I don't know, y'all. So y'all see in 2025. Oh, but yeah.
Well, I love that.
Positive.
All right, y'all. So look, we're gonna end on that high note because I love that for you, Paulette. I really do.
Thank you, friend.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and wrap up this episode with Petty Party Podcast. Be sure to write into us if you have any motos, petty chronicles. You can DM us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. That's at Petty Party Pod, or you can send us an email, pettypartypodcast12814@gmail.com. We will definitely read them. And if you want to interact with us, if you want to promote on our podcast, if you want to do any of those things, make sure you shoot us an email as well. It is your girl, Just Nick, checking out.
And it's your girl, Amakalette, signing out. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Amakalette. Holla.
Bye, y'all. It's your girl, Crystal, a.k.a. Champagne Chris. Check it out.
And bye, y'all. It's your girl, Michelle, a.k.a. Shelly Shell, a.k.a. Egypt If You Nasty. Until next time, we'll see y'all next week, actually.
Yeah, we will. Bye.
Oh, yeah, shout out to us.
Yes.
And wait. We can't end this podcast without saying rest in peace to Beat King. He just recently passed away. Well-known Houston rapper. Honestly, gave us the best college experience of our lives.
Absolutely.
And he will be greatly missed. And, you know, we're sending our love and condolences to his family and his daughters. And honestly, y'all just stay prayed up and just God bless everybody.
Yeah, Texas lost a real one. Bye, y'all.
Give me a P. Give me a E. Give me a T. T. Y. I'm petty all the time.